Yo, yo, yo. I wonder if anybody will even join this shit. There's no card on. No card on. See how this shit goes, man. Anybody there? This is a big ass risk. I literally might be sat here for 2 hours talking to my fucking self. But nevertheless, it will go on the fucking channel, so. Someone in the chat? Someone like the stream? Thank you so much, boys. Whoever you are, drop a fucking. No one else here? Yeah, it's I've only ever gone live for cards for events when fights are on. So I thought I'd try just going live on a random fucking Monday night. See who was there. Watching from Berlin. Shout out Berlin, man. I was supposed to go to Berlin like 4 years ago, and then fucking COVID. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was supposed to go to Berlin 2019. No, 2020. Yeah, 2020. I was supposed to go to Berlin. Brand new prospects you're high on. I'm talking like just debuted in the promotion. I guess Aliskarov kind of is still in there, right? He's like 2 fights in. So Aliskarov in middleweight, just debuted. That's a hard one. There's a lot of people debuting these days that are either just cannon fodder for whoever else, or they're just contender series winners. You know what I mean? But people who were like in like their first 3 fights, maybe I guess you could say in the UFC, got like Joe Pyfer, Aliskarov in middleweight. He's had quite a few fights in the UFC now, and he's lost a couple. But I'm super high on Roman Kopylov. And what's crazy is all 3 of those guys I just mentioned are middleweights. You know what I mean? And people say that middleweight's shallow and middleweight's trash. You got those guys. You got Bo Nickel as well. Hamzat's in middleweight now. I think middleweight is pretty fucking solid, boys, these days. I don't know what the policy is with smoking on YouTube, but I've been doing it and nobody's killed me yet. I'm currently really into Peyton Talbot. Is it Talbot or is it Talbot? Everybody says his name different, even though it's just getting started. Middleweight is actually pretty good. I just get annoyed at a lot of the prospects that just completely fucking fumble. So it's Talbot. I can't remember which one I said second, but no, Peyton looks good, and Talbot got you. Yeah, Peyton looks good. The prospect thing. The lightweight prospects are the craziest to me because there was so many people in lightweight that people were like, oh well, this is it for people like Poirier and Gaethje and stuff. These new lightweights are going to run through the division. I'm talking people like Fiziev, Gamrot, Gurum, Ismagulov. You know what I mean? All these new even Armand. I know Armand just smoked Benil, so he's back on track. But he was getting touched up by Joaquim Silva. Hey, what's up, Schmedy, bro? Didn't know if any of you lot would be awake, to be honest. I just thought, fuck it, we'll stream. I've got nothing else to do. I just came in. Little nighttime skate. Where the fuck are my papers? Evening, gents. What's up, Zephyr, bro? Lightweight is king, becoming the old man division right now. Yeah, it is. It is. But honestly, I don't even mind, bro, because it's too predictable, right? That the new guys, the young guys, just come in and just mop the old guys up. It's too predictable. So I don't mind that. There we go. I don't mind that a lot of them lost. They're still very young. You know what I mean? Well, a lot of them are. But I don't get it. In any other division, right? They keep the prospects far away from each other. But in lightweight, they seem to always match them up. You're talking. I know they didn't know what they had on their hands with Islam and Saryukian, but you've got Islam Saryukian for. They made Grant Dawson and did he fight Ismagulov? Which I can't remember which one of the guys it was that he fought and just completely dominated. Pretty sure it was Ismagulov, right? But and then Grant Dawson himself gets smoked by Bobby Green. Another one. With Talbot, I really like his attitude and he's into a lot of cool indie shit and has a cool look. Iron chin, super cardio, punches a bunch, also makes for a good prospect. Yeah. And we need, it's like Joe Pyfer, right? He's like effortlessly likable. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need to try too hard, which is nice because we've had too many guys in the past 5 years that are just see what Connor does and they try way too hard, bro. 1 second, boys. Okay. Thoughts on making a new 165 division? I remember they talked about that. I don't know if they completely scrapped it or not. I would love for them to do that. I would absolutely love for him to do that. But at the same time, it's too. I don't know. I remember when they was talking about it, I was really for it. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, bro, fucking 165. Guys like Kevin Lee, you know what I mean? Because at the time when they was talking about it, Kevin Lee was still active. Who else? I can't even remember who else. Colby probably would go 165. But it's just too. It's £5 off welterweight. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do it, maybe you'd have to do 160, maybe, but that's £5 away from 155. You know what I mean? It's just you just kind of get stuck in the same problem. 296 predictions. Leon. I was kind of I was kind of picking Colby out of fear because I didn't want to pick Leon and then him get ragdolled and then it would sting. You know what I mean? But Colby's great, right? He's a really good fighter, but who is he like? Other than people like Robbie Lawler, Tyron Woodley, and losing to Usman, like what has he done? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like Colby. I would like for Colby to become champ. I would like Colby to become champ, but I hate that it's Leon that he has to beat for it. You know what I mean? Nobody has any natural charisma. It's why I appreciate O'Malley because he seems to know he's not all that on the mic, so plays up to the stoner dipshit character. Yeah, I can relate to that, bro. And number two, the weird thing about O'Malley is he seems to be like quick in interviews or like in press conferences. He's terrible. It's like the pressure really gets to him. But in interviews, like the post-fight interview with Aljo, somebody said to him, "Oh, they scored round one for Aljo," and he was like, "Oh, really?" He was like, "What did they score the second round?" And that's such a hard line, and he just came out with it like that. But he would never get anywhere. He wouldn't even say anything half as cool as in a press conference. And do you know what? On aerial, he was being super funny. He was like, "Yeah, Henry Cejudo walked past me on the plane." Like he was cracking jokes. As soon as Cheeto FaceTimed Ariel, and he was like, Cheeto was like, "Oh, what? You don't want to get girls? What you want to get guys? You gay or some shit?" Whatever Cheeto was saying. O'Malley was like, you know what I mean, doing the Conor McGregor shit. He had nothing for him. So I think the pressure just gets to O'Malley a little bit. What do you all think about the light heavyweight division right now? In my eyes, it absolutely sucks. No real contenders. There is Ankalaev, but aside from that, Hill is not a great fighter. I don't know if this is controversial or not. I think Hill beats Alex Pereira. I'm sorry, boys. Put the bow and arrows down. Um, um, you know, I think Jamal Hill is hella underrated, man. The light heavyweight division, obviously, when you're comparing it to when it was the marquee division, 2000 and even in Pride, you know what I'm saying? You had Shogun, you had Lil Nog, light heavyweight was a lot better before. But it's okay. It's getting better. I prefer it now that Powertan's champ. You know what I mean? Um, I feel like guys now can become champ just because the Jones, DCs, Anthony Johnsons, RP, and Gustafsons aren't there anymore. True. My favorite light heavyweight is Krylov, and Krylov's been winning, so I've been enjoying the division. You know what I mean? I want to see Krylov make a run for the belt. Did break my heart when he beat Gus, but Gus was done. I don't know why Gustafson fell off a cliff so hard. Fucking faced hat since when? Yes, brother. True degenerate. Since when? Since like 2021 or some shit. I wanted one for like my whole fucking life. And then I was just like, bro, why am I like somebody made a point? Somebody made a point. Sorry, I just fucking a notification popped up. Somebody made a point to me one day. I want a face tap, but I'm not gonna get one because of work and finding a job and XYZ. And he was like, yeah, but bro, you've already got your hands tattooed. And I was like, yeah, but your hands are different, to your face. He's like, yeah, but like the only jobs that tattoos are gonna stop you from getting stuff like maybe like a bank teller or like a customer facing formal place, they're not gonna want me anyway. You know what I mean? They're not gonna want me anyway. So I was like, bro, fuck it, man. What if Putin just decides to absolutely clap everyone's cheeks? I will die with a face tat and be happy with it. But yeah, I'm a cliche, bro. What can I say? Um, I got Colby just because I want to see him defend against McGregor. Yeah, no, to be fair, I'm all for that. I think Colby winning is better for the division. I just hope he fights. I hope he stays active. I really fucking hope he does. To be fair, Usman had to cheat his ass off in the first Colby fight, true, and it was an awful stoppage. Second fight was razor close. It was an awful stoppage. It wasn't an awful stoppage, in my opinion, but I understand what you mean. Like, they didn't need to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Colby could have survived to the end of the fight, I feel like, but he still would have lost that fight just because that last round he got dropped, he got hurt so bad. You know what I mean? So it doesn't change the result. So stoppage or no stoppage, ultimately Kamaru wins that one. I will give you though, however, the second fight I would say was a draw. I would say it was a draw. He probably overthinks a lot. I think O'Malley's the next star, and I think he realistically can beat everyone lined up for the title picture. You think so? You think so? You think so? I don't know, man. I'm scared for him. You think he beats Marab? I'm interested to hear how you think that goes. You think he snipes him like he did Aljo, or you think he just manages to counter wrestle? Like, how do you think that one goes? Jamal smacks him. Yeah, probably. But I don't know. Jamal Hill was landing whatever he wanted on Glover and couldn't finish him. Tekken combos for 5 rounds, kind of overrated power. I can agree with you with the overrated power comment. I wouldn't say Jamal Hill's the most powerful puncher in the world. Obviously, he has like a knockout on people like Johnny Walker. But I will counter your point and say, yes, he was landing whatever he wanted on Glover. Maybe he couldn't finish him. But the fact he's landing on Glover and basically dominating Glover, and Yuri struggled so much with Glover, I think Jamal Hill should get more credit for that. Glover was fucking almost finished Yuri like multiple times, you know what I mean? And Jamal completely smoked him. Not fair with the boxing and Pereira's spotty defense and chin. I can definitely see Jamal winning. I don't think Pereira has that bad of a chin, but he does get caught too much. For such an elite kickboxer, He gets caught, and a lot of people say, "Well, he was only getting caught by Yuri because of Yuri's like wild fucking style," but like other people have landed on him just not, just textbook stuff. But obviously, because he was so worried about the takedowns and stuff in his early UFC fights, he was getting landed on more. And Chael Sonnen, although Chael Sonnen talks a lot of bullshit that doesn't make any fucking, that this has no value. He also says a lot of smart things. And he said in the light heavyweight division, for the most part, the extent of the ground game you need to know is just how to survive and get up. And if Alex has showed that he can survive with people on his back and he can get up. So does he need to learn the ins and outs of jiu-jitsu? Does he need to learn a boogie choke? Does he need to learn how to sweep somebody into full mount from guard? Like, I don't think so. I think he's about there. You know what I mean? If you've got Jan Blachowicz taking you down and he's on your back and you're okay, you're okay. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm being so slow with this chat, boys. Jamal gonna come back super out of shape. I feel like even worse than usual. You think? That would make me sad, but we'll see. Bro, he isn't that fat, I swear. It was just one picture. Yeah, that one picture looked awful though. Yeah, I agree with that. Pereira has shown to be very beatable, and whilst he has a great career, he also has had an easy road to both titles compared to others. The division just has no pop currently, bro. I'm gonna do a video on this. I've just been fucking super busy with uni stuff. No double champ, none of them, not a single one of these simultaneous double champs in the UFC has been like legit. Connor, the featherweight belt was legit, but they just gave him a straight title shot against Eddie. You know what I'm saying? I guess Connors is legit, but he never defended either of them. He basically just had 2 title fights and won them both. You know what I mean? DC, technically, right? Apologies. Technically, he never won that light heavyweight belt. Well, he did, but he lost it, is what I'm saying. So when he went up to heavyweight, if Jones didn't pop and if my auntie had wheels, she would be a bike, right? All that shit. But if Jones didn't pop, that's a KO win for Jones. DC doesn't have that belt. So when he goes up to heavyweight and beats Stipe, he's not a double champ. He's just a two-weight world champ. You know what I mean? Pereira, I mean, I guess he's a double champ, but like he's had about fucking 2 fights in the whole fucking organization. You know what I mean? Nunes, she just took advantage because they made women's featherweight for Cyborg and she smoked Cyborg, so that made her a double champ. Cejudo is probably the only legit double champ, actually, to be honest. Y'all said Pereira is beatable against Yuri too. Just saying, I actually had Pereira against Yuri, but I had Yan over Pereira. I thought Yan was gonna really fucking put it on him. And it was actually that fight that made me realize Alex is much better than we're probably giving him credit for. You know what I mean? Marab's Roids. What's up with Biscuit? Marab's Roids will Marco O'Malley. The Piotr Yan fight was scarring to watch. It was fucking horrible, bro. It wasn't as bad as the Jose Aldo one for me, though. That was like pure frustration because Jose was like a couple of fights away from getting an actual legit title shot at 135. And instead he got held against the cage by Marab and he retired, So fuck Marab. And not fuck him for that because, it's not his fault that's his style. Like it's effective. But fuck him for all the holding up the division shit. That shit's whack. I think Corey's the hardest fight, but Marab fails takedowns over and over and got hurt by Marlon Moraes. True. So I think O'Malley can capitalize far better with that and stuff Marab's worst takedowns. But can he stuff Marab's? I know it's such a cliche thing, right? And the commentators all say it all the time. He can stuff the first one, maybe the second, maybe the third, but can he stuff the 8th, 9th, 10th? Can he stuff the 30 odd? You know what I'm saying? In the 4th round, like I think Corey is. I think Song Yadong is probably O'Malley's hardest fight. Probably not his hardest fight, but one of them. You know what I mean? Maybe not how he fought last night or a couple of nights ago, but when he marches forward and he mixes it up with the body shots and the head shots with the boxing, I think O'Malley kind of needs like a Strickland game plan esque to beat him. If you give him that range, or if you try and throw a big shot and close the distance, not in a sensible fashion, you will probably get caught. But I feel like Song Yudong doesn't leave himself open. I don't know. I can just see Song Yudong for some reason beating O'Malley. You know what I mean? Who have I got for Duplessis and Strickland? Um, Probably Strickland. I keep going back and forth on it. Yeah, probably Strickland, just because Duplessis. I know he has a new nose or whatever the fuck, right? But he does gas, and yeah, okay, he didn't gas against Whitaker, right? And that's the most recent Duplessis we've seen. But I can't see him going 5 rounds with Strickland, bro. So if he finishes Strickland, which definitely could happen, Duplessis is a big guy for the division, but um, do I see him? I don't know. I'm probably like 60-40 to Strickland, but yeah, Strickland. Controversial opinion. Yuri isn't the amazing fighter everyone makes him out to be. He beat Ozdemir and Reyes, who get beat a lot, and after that beat Oldman Glover very difficult after a war. The thing is with Yuri, bro, which you can't say about many fighters these days, is he kind of did his best work outside of the UFC before he got here. So you really have to watch some of his other fights. You have to watch his other fights before the UFC to understand why people rate him so highly. I feel like anyway. Because outside of the UFC, especially in the run that got him into the UFC, he was looking great. But yeah, he's a little bit reckless. I don't think he's I don't think he's the best fighter in the division. I don't even think he's the top two. Maybe not even top three. I don't know. Yuri's good. I can see Yan beating Yuri. I could see Krylov maybe beating Yuri. I could see Jamal Hill beating Yuri. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel what you're saying. People just like his weird style and antics outside of the octagon and fanboy over him. Yeah, he does have a lot of fans that are just like they just like him because of his samurai shit, right? But I don't know. I like Yuri, bro. I like Yuri. He reminds me of an old school fighter, somebody that would have been around years ago. Kind of agree with you on the Glover fight because he'll beat him down and it took Yuri 5 rounds. Not only did it take Yuri 5 rounds, Glover almost had Yuri's ass out of there like multiple fucking times, bro. You know what I mean? It started raining on my window. Oh, what do you think of the bookshelf, by the way, boys? I've been spending all fucking day building that and then building this. You can't see it, but I have a new chair. I've been building that shit as well. I just don't think it'd take that long. And yeah, I agree. Yudong is nasty and the best guy up and coming. I think O'Malley can chin Murab just by being confident and skittering away with the fight. Definitely agree with you on the confidence thing. I hope that him stuffing Aljo's takedowns has given him the confidence that he says it has, because he was saying like, oh, I knew I could have chinned him. I knew I could have KO'd him. What I didn't know is how I was going to be when he shot. You know what I mean? But it was good. It was all good. So listen, bro, I'm not saying I want Merab to win. I would love O'Malley to win that fight. I'm just scared. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Merab as champ. Bantamweight's like my favorite division, Ideal world for me, Sandhagen. Sandhagen becomes champ. That's my favorite bantamweight. Duplessis is moving around a lot of weight at 185. Do you mean like when he rehydrates? Did you see Duplessis saying he wants to go up and fight fucking Alex or whatever he said? What did he say? He wants to go up after? Absolutely not trying to discredit him, but in Rising, Yuri beat 4 out of 5 guys that were 37 plus years old. He's a good fighter, but the UFC top 5 clearly is a big step up for him. Yeah, I agree. And that's the problem with every Um, with every like Asian promotion, like Pride, Dream, Rising, e even like One, there's a lot of spectacle. There's a lot of watch this guy, he's a beast. Watch him destroy this other guy. Like, you know, they're trying to crowd please more than anything. The UFC, you know, fair enough. Um, what was I just fucking saying? I just read. I need to mute. Let me mute these fucking notifications, bro. Right there we go. People are trying to talk to me on Discord, bro, and I'm just like, I'm too high for that shit. Um, but yeah, I agree. UFC top five clearly is a big step up for him. Although he did get past Glover, and that does count for something. And he did beat Reyes, and that does count for something. I know Reyes isn't as good as everybody thought he was going to be, but it still counts for something, right? Have you heard anything about Izzy coming back for 300? I haven't. Um, I haven't. I wouldn't really even give a fuck. I know you're a Kiwi, but do you give a fuck? Would you not rather have Rousey? Would you not rather have like an actual, you know what I mean? An actual spectacle thing? I hope it isn't just like a couple of title fights, bro. They need to pull something out of the bag for 300. Honestly, think Pereira with grappling defense wins at light heavyweight, middleweight, and heavyweight title. You think he wins the heavyweight title? No, I completely disagree with that. Maybe if I don't think he beats. Maybe he could beat Cyril Gane. I don't think he beats Aspinall. Um, yeah, I think no way. I think Aspinall would KO him. To be honest, I think he's just way too big, way too. He's just too much. Yeah, I don't know. I understand what you're saying. People do like to say if there's anybody that can do a three weight champ, it's Alex, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Heard Glover say something about him wanting Pereira to move up to heavyweight. Yeah, no, because he did. He said something like, "Oh, he's 225 walking around" or some shit, right? So he was kind of hinting at it. Shavkat could KO Wonderboy with a spinning wheel kick, especially if he is against the cage with his hands at his sides. Yeah, I'm not sure if Shavkat's going to try and pressure him back to the cage. I'm not sure what Shavkat's going to do, but one thing I will say is Wonderboy looks good against. Wonderboy looked good against Kevin Holland. So sorry, bro. I'm losing my train of thought so much. The streaming shit's legitimately hard. Keeping up with the fucking chat and trying to like have multiple conversations at the same time. I'm just holding this fucking joint. I need to roll it. But yeah, I don't think Pereira beats Aspinall. Him versus Duplessis would be mad. Who Aspinall or Pereira? Pereira's chin's not good enough. I don't think he's that chinny. You know what I mean? It isn't that. I think Aspinall just puts most people out. I think he's one of the biggest punchers. Aspinall KO Alex? Yeah, I think so, bro. I don't think Alex could KO Aspinall. I think he probably could. I don't think he would. Aspinall beats everyone. I can't lie. Yeah, I completely agree. I think he's like heavyweight goat potential. It's raining on my window, by the way. So if you can hear the rain, I apologize. Yeah, Glover said like 242 would be good weight for Alex. 242. Imagine that, bro. That's like a pretty big heavyweight. Like Crow Cup, all those OG heavyweights. They're really middleweights. Well, Crow Cup anyway. Could have probably cut down to 185. He said that himself, but he didn't even want to cut to 205, let alone 185. So he fought at like low 200s. Pereira's 233 walk around, Aspinall's 277 walk around. I don't even think it all comes down to weight in that fight. I think it's just like, how do I explain it? The bluntness, you know what I'm saying? Alex is a sharp striker. I think Aspinall would just fucking club him on the head. You know what I mean? Still mad that John wants to beat up Grandpa Stipe and hang it up after so he can't fight Aspinall. Yeah, but I also don't blame him. I think he had this plan in his head: move up to heavyweight, fight. Get a fight at heavyweight, fight Stipe, get out. But yeah. I don't blame him. Wonderboy got rocked in round one by Holland. He did. That's what I was saying. Yes. Wonderboy looked good against Holland, and Shavkat doesn't move his head. So, you know what I'm saying? I love Aspinall, but man, I love Gon as well, and I wish he could grapple because he'd hold heavyweight for so long. Gon beats Pereira, even though you said otherwise. If it was to happen, number one contender. It's not that I said otherwise. I just think out of all the top heavyweights, Gon's probably the one that Pereira has the biggest chance to beat. Pereira rocks the shit out of Duplessis. Be for real. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Duplessis' chin. This is another thing. People overrate Pereira's power, I think. I really think they do. I think he's definitely obviously got power. He's one of the heaviest hitters in the division when he was middleweight, but I don't think he's one of the most. I don't know. It's difficult with Pereira, right? Because that left hook just, you know, the left hook alone, it's like Deontay Wilder's right hand. White hand? What the fuck? Like Deontay doesn't have the craziest jab, doesn't have the craziest lead hook, but that right hand, like it just has to touch you and you're dead. So um don't put it past John to beat Aspinall. You man are mad to think the GOAT wouldn't beat Aspinall. Realize who we're on about, like 13 title defenses. Don't disrespect Bones to up Aspinall. True, but this is old man Jones, and every single time we've seen Jones struggle, it's because he has no attributes on the guy. Like Reyes was his size, Gustafsson was his size. You know what I'm saying? And Aspinall's bigger than him. I don't think he's fought somebody bigger than him. Cyril was probably bigger than him because Cyril's full. He's wide. He's a filled out heavyweight. Um, but I think Aspinall's just too big. But yeah, I don't put it past Jones. I think Jones is a GOAT. I just don't think he's. I think he's not how he was. You know what I mean? He isn't the Jones of old. He doesn't do the mad creative shit anymore. He fights pretty kind of basic these days. But I love Jones. Not putting it past him to beat Aspinall. I would pick Aspinall for that one though. Hot take. In my opinion, if Ngannou would have stayed, Aspinall wouldn't be champ during Ngannou's reign, especially if Ngannou continued his wrestling training all out. Tom doesn't hit harder. Tom doesn't hit harder, no. But I think Aspinall would sub Francis. Let me fucking finish rolling this fucking joint anyway. Yeah, I think Tom would beat Francis. No disrespect to Francis, of course, but RIP Andre Philly, don't do this. Don't do this shit. Don't make me Google shit like that, bro. That's just depressing. The first time I ever watched a stream, a live stream, like an illegal stream, the chat, how the chats of those streams always spam RIP Joe Rogan? I fully fell for it. And rather than like checking and like just Googling, is Joe Rogan dead? I'd put it in like the Discord thing. And obviously, like, not Discord, it would have, what was it? It was Kick. It was a Kick group chat. And I put in the group chat, like, boys, Rogan's dead. And people were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, people are saying it in this chat for the UFC. And everyone was like, bro, you're a fucking casual. You're a rookie in these parts. That's standard procedure. Don't know why everybody says RIP Joe Rogan, but every single stream you can see RIP Joe Rogan. But yeah, every time I see it, it just reminds me like, boys, Joe Rogan's dead. I was genuinely sat there sad as fuck, bro. Because I never used to use illegal streams. And then Connor and Habib, basically in the UK, you pay for a subscription to the provider. So you pay for the subscription to BT Sport. And then they show you the fights. Where was I? Ngannou wouldn't have beat Aspinall, to be honest. I like Aspinall's grappling. There, there is like I like Aspinall's grappling there, and like Aspinall wouldn't be scared to strike with Francis. Um, yeah, I think if he did stand and strike with Francis, it would be very stupid of him. I think he'd shoot straight away. I would hope he would shoot straight away. You know what I mean? You're right. No, agreed. But Ngannou immensely continued to show growth at grappling. You have to remember though, bro. Yes, he looked good against Stipe. So if you're talking about his grappling against Stipe, then I'm completely with you. But we learn that Cyril Gane's grappling is fucking awful. You know what I mean? His grappling is zero, and you can't really. Can you like? Are you really gonna say his grappling was improving immensely? You know what I mean? Use a word like that when talking about Cyril Gane. I don't think so. Um, Ngannou could just chin the shit out of Aspinall. I mean, Uberim too, right? But I mean, if you're up in Ngannou saying his grappling would get so much better, then yes, I understand it. Yeah, his grappling definitely would have got better, but do I think it would have been on the level to roll and go on the mat with Aspinall? No. Aspinall, in my opinion, is a grappler, but he's a well-rounded jiu-jitsu fighter. His dad was one of the first black belts in the UK. You know, his family is a jiu-jitsu. You know, his dad he ran a jiu-jitsu dojo first. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Francis could catch up to Aspinall's level of grappling. I don't think so. Just like I don't think Francis could catch up with Jones's level of grappling either. Um, Long doink you've got today, mate. Yeah, just the fucking same strain I was smoking the other day, bro. But yeah, I need to hurry up and fucking roll it. Um, I got knocked out by Bilal and Muhammad in UFC 4. I felt like a bitch. Nah, don't worry, bro. Everybody in UFC 4's got like Mike Tyson power. Nine Garner would have chinned Aspinall, in my opinion. It's just built different. I don't know. I don't know. The roach isn't sticking, which is why I keep licking this joint. I'm sorry, you have to watch that. But yeah, I don't know about that, you know. Speaking of Magomed, who you got for the Johnny Walker rematch? Magomed Ankalaev, yeah. Probably Ankalaev. What's going on with this fucking roach, bro? Look what Aspinall just did to Pavlovich. It isn't even what he did to Pavlovich why I rate him so much. It's what he's done to everybody else. You know what I mean? It's what he did to Volkov. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't ignore things like that, bro. He'd grapple Francis, but could strike with him. I think he could strike with him, but I think he does. You know, one thing that drives me crazy about what people say about Aspinall is they love to say he keeps his chin in the air, but so does every other fucking heavyweight, including Ngannou. You know what I mean? Everybody, all the heavyweights keep their chin in the air. This isn't fucking bantamweight, bro. There's a lot of bad strikers. I'm not saying Aspinall, Gane, and Ngannou are bad strikers, but there's a lot of people that leave their chin in the air. You know, it's not the downfall of a fighter, but obviously in the lower weight classes, like Paddy Pimblett, for example, leaving his fucking chin on a plate, not good. And Kalive is the future of like heavyweight. I don't care what nobody says, man. I've thought this for a minute, and his striking is good and defo good enough to complement the grappling that he has. Yeah, but he's one of those guys. He can't put it he can't put it together. You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is. He does stupid shit, bro. He makes dumb decisions. But I agree. I think he's probably the best fighter in light heavyweight. Fight night, Ankalaev versus Smith, 2 main event. Murad versus Yantu. No, Smith needs to go, bro. Pavlovich needed like 5 hit combos to put people down, and Ngannou just touches you once. It's not the same. Yeah, I'm not saying Pavlovich and Ngannou's power is comparable. Um, I think Aspinall probably hits about as hard as Pavlovich. I mean, Aspinall puts people down with 1-2s. You know what I mean? I think Aspinall would put Ty out with one or two shots where Pavlovich drops him multiple times. You know, I think Tom. I promise you, boys. I promise. I'm not just sitting here licking Aspinall's fucking arse because he's from the UK. I don't give a fuck about that. How delayed? Oh no, sorry. What strain do you prefer, and do you prefer indica or sativa? I prefer like gassy strains like cookies, OGs, dogs. You know what I mean? Do you prefer indica or sativa? I think indica. You know what, bro? We don't really. I've never. We don't have dispensaries out here, so I don't even know. Whatever the ones I just explained were like gassy, like heavy buds. You know what I mean? How delayed is your stream, bro? It's not delayed, man. I suck at fucking keeping up with chat. I don't just want to answer a question with 2 seconds and then move on. You know what I mean? I want to actually like if somebody's asking me something, I want to actually. Why do I look like a Simpson in this light, bro? Have I got the light on some crazy fucking shit? Oh, damn. What the fuck? Is that better? Yeah, that's a bit better, right? It was driving me crazy, bro. My skin was yellow. My beanie was like fluorescent. I don't know what was going on there. My stream's delayed. Are you sure I'm not just being slow? Brother, your stream is so delayed. How do you mean, boys? Delayed how? Like you're sending a question in and I'm taking like a few minutes to get to it? Because is it? I don't think it is delayed. It's just, who do you think Khalil Roundtree should get? Now, I'll try and speed up a little bit. My bad, my bad. Um, who do you think Khalil Roundtree should get next after the Smith fight? I don't think he deserves a title shot yet till he's ranked fifth at the very least. Khalil Roundtree, who would I put him against? That's a good question. I don't know. What's the top 10 looking like? I mean, I'd say obviously Ryan Spann should have won against Smith. And I would say that fight would be a good fight. But obviously, he just fucking dived into a fucking triangle or an armbar or whatever it was. So no, I can't even really say that. I definitely don't think. I definitely don't think title shot till he's ranked fifth. Yeah, I definitely don't think he needs a title shot. I said I'd be quicker, and here I am looking at fucking rankings. Right, here we go. So not the top five. Krylov, maybe Krylov. He's just beat Anthony Smith at number 8. Krylov's number 6. Maybe do Krylov and Khalil, or maybe do the Ryan Spann Khalil fight. I don't know. Manny Ankalaev stuff. You think, oh, he grapple, oh, he Russian, oh, you're Dagestan dick rider. No, I'm a big Charles dick rider and need him to get back. Need him to get lightweight back. Oliveira era. Yeah. I don't call anybody like, oh, you're a Dagestani dick rider. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? You know what I mean? If you like the style, like, what it's like saying, oh, you're an American dick rider because you like fucking Strickland and O'Malley and Colby and stuff like that. Like, people are just, I don't need to go on another fucking tangent about that. But yeah, everybody seems to hate the Dagestanis in this sport, and I don't know why, because they're all pretty cool, man. Other than Mohammed Makayev. Do you just go down the list of chats? I do, yeah. I don't want somebody to send a message in and then me miss it, and then them leave and be sad that I just fucking skip the message. You know what I mean? You listen to Yeet? I do, bro. Yeah, actually, I do. Right, let me lick this. Let me fucking rip this off and spark it, man, because the chat is overwhelming me, and I'm just sat here and I've licked this joint about 15 fucking times. It's pretty fucking vile. Big hot take. Anyways, I don't want to sound retarded, but Volkanovski is still my pound for pound number one because he is the most skilled fighter in the UFC, and he's going to come back even hungrier. I'm worried, bro. I can't lie. I don't think Taporia is as good as Volk, but I'm scared for Volk. I'm scared for Volk just because if he loses, what does he do? You know, does he go up to lightweight? I think he should. I think he should go to lightweight. Bro, you should make some content out of your weight loss. Yeah, I guess I could, right? I'm just not done with it yet. I was always recording. You know, I've got videos from when I was at my biggest and stuff like that. So I was making like a kind of a vlog series about it, but watching it back, it's just boring, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody would even watch it, but yeah, I could do. You know, I know how it feels to want to lose weight and be watching all those kind of videos, you know, my 100-pound fat loss journey and shit like that. You know what I mean? Um, you look like that guy. No, I'm not sure who you mean. Dude, your beanie is neon, but no more Simpson skin. Good, good. I don't think it's delayed. Do you listen to Juice? Not really anymore, to be honest, but used to bump Juice all the time. RIP Juice. I think the hate for them has its roots in that Habib McGregor build up. Everyone still holds grudges. Bro, one of the most fire lines ever said by anybody, right? At a press conference is when Habib was saying Alhamdulillah, and he goes, I know you guys don't like this. Basically saying, I know you lot are racist as fuck. I know you Irish fans want Connor to fucking kill me, but I just love how he said that. I know you guys don't like this. Habib knew. He knew the score, man. He knows how the West is. Big drunken Irish fans. Um, why? Because you think Volk's chin is dead? Not that his chin's dead, but I think he's crept into that part of his career where he's going to start to slow down. And Ilya is just a scary guy, you know. You think Connor and Charles are going to fight one day? Probably not. I think Connor probably fucking loses to Chandler, to be honest, as much as I hate to say it. Nah, bro, once Volk loses, he is done. His era is over and he will decline. He is an awesome fighter, but he makes stupid decisions. His biggest enemy is himself. Yeah. I wouldn't be so quick to say his era is over, but if he loses, it is, yeah. I know you said once he loses, he's done. His era is over. That's what you're saying, right? But yeah. I think we're still in the Volk era right now. What did you think of Usman Nurmagomedov getting his title stripped after testing positive for performance enhancers? I think after you watch Icarus, I think after you watch a few videos about steroids in sport and how easy it actually is to pass a drug test at the very highest level, and then you know how a lot of these fighters, it's their dream and they will do anything in their power to get an advantage. And then you look at Sambo and you see that a lot of Sambo fighters are juicers. And then you see Russian got banned from one of the Olympics about 10 years ago. And then you hear Bobby Green talking some mad shit about the fact that they give these guys steroids when they're on the come up, you know, when they're like kids and shit. It's I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't I don't understand the point of saying shit like, well, Jones isn't my GOAT because he popped for PEDs. So you're only going to exclude people out of your GOAT list that got caught for PEDs because there's so many guys that people like GSP. Everybody loves to say GSP was natural, right? That's like his staple. He could have been on juice. For us, Sahabi knows how to fucking pass drug tests. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You can't. You can't. You know, most of these guys are probably on juice. Hate to say it, but they probably are. So either assume nobody's on juice until they get caught, or assume everybody's on juice. But don't be like, oh, this guy got caught by USADA, so he's trying. Like people wanted to kill TJ for that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, Usman Nurmagomedov getting stripped. If he's testing positive for PEDs, what's to say that the whole camp isn't taking him? Obviously, Usman isn't in the UFC, and they don't have as strict testing policies where he fights. So maybe he's a bit more willing to risk it. But at the end of the day, a lot of Habib Islam fans, a lot of the fans of these Dagestani fighters, a lot of their main point of why they are not on juice is they're devout Muslims. They wouldn't do that. I disagree with that. I think they would take any advantage they could get. He got KO'd mad by Islam, got hit in the back of the head like 5, 6 times, and is now fighting like 3, 4 months later. Bad knockout waiting to happen. I agree. I agree. Max beats Taporia. I agree. Also, I think what might happen is Taporia beats Volk. Volk moves up to lightweight. Max swoops in, beats Taporia, and takes the belt. That's what I think. This weekend's fights are going to be crazy. Press conferences are going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I hope that Ian Gary gets flamed. I know everybody's waiting for it and stuff, but I've got a weird feeling that it won't happen. And I just hope it does. I don't think I have a lighter, boys. I might have to go and get a lighter real quick. Forgot to make the comment, but I agree. Honestly, Volk won't know when to retire. Colby's bad to steal Leon's belt. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like I'm spamming, sorry, but Volk literally keeps getting better. The Volk we saw versus Yair was probably like the best Volk we've ever seen besides Holloway 3, and Yair isn't a joke either. First of all, don't worry about spamming, bro. We're fucking, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. So you're not spamming, you're fine. And I agree. The Volk we seen about against Yair probably was the best Volk. The traps he was setting with switching stances mid combo with his lead leg kicks and throwing the lead leg kick and then on the step back shifting into a different stance, catching Yair with the right hook and stuff. Some of the stuff that Volk does, I couldn't even explain what's happening. You know what I mean? He is a pure IQ fighter, man. He's a very, very smart guy. That's how I kind of feel like Aspinall is as well. Agreed, he really picked up on the crosshead kick combo. Do you think Costa is natural? I don't know. I don't think Costa's natural. I got high as hell and ate some lasagna. Best meal of my life, honestly. I fucking hate lasagna, bro. I'm a cook in a kitchen. You know, I cook for my job. And the thing I make the most is lasagna. And I fucking hate doing it. But yeah, I hope it was good. I think 95% of the roster is on juice, same as boxing. I agree. I think a lot of guys are on juice. And it's almost a waste of time to be like paying attention to who pops and who doesn't in the eyes of USADA, you know what I mean? It's kind of unfair to people that some of the people I do think are natural are people like DC, maybe Strickland. I don't think Izzy's natural. I don't think Mali's natural. Well, Mali might be natural. Do I smoke carts? No, bro. We don't really have carts over here. And I'm grateful for that because I know people be getting fucking killed from that shit. Do you think Connor's going to come back the same or not? The same as what? The same as against Poirier or the same as before, like when he was on top? I don't think Connor's ever going to come back as that guy. I don't even think he's the same person as that guy. I think that guy died when the Mayweather fight happened. Yeah, I said the same thing about Volk. He's got the best fight IQ in the game. Definitely one of them, you know? GSP, Volk, John Jones, Dominic Cruz. Very smart people. I can see Dana not putting Ian in the press conference and just making it co-main and main boring. He could do that. You're very right. You are correct. Although if he did that, we would miss people like Paddy there, Tony there. I don't think he would do that. I can see. Oh, I just read that. And yeah, dude, Volk couldn't pick up whenever he threw his leg kick, and Yaya would go 4-strike combinations with kicks and punches. Yeah, and it's crazy to see that Volk got knocked out with a head kick by Islam, but Yaya barely touched him. I mean, he did throw up a couple of head kicks, but Volk. This is the thing. Volk gets head kicked a lot, and he blocks it with one hand, and he doesn't die from it. Where Islam hits him with the same shit. Maybe it is that camp. You know, maybe taking the shots in sparring and stuff, maybe it weighs a lot more than we think. I'm a kitchen hand, bro. Making and seeing the same fucking meals every day is a huge turn off. Yeah, it's definitely. And when it comes to lunch, and I have to cook myself something off of the menu, fuck that. Do I think Fedor was natural? Probably not. I mean, he doesn't look not natural. Not He doesn't look unnatural, but why wouldn't he be? You know what I mean? Like, why? I mean, why would he be natural in an era of pure juices where they didn't test anything? You have people like Mark Coleman, fucking Sean Kerr, fucking Mark Kerr, sorry, Sean Shirk, Mark Kerr, absolute units, Uberim. Why wouldn't you take gear? But there's a chance he could be. Connor won't ever be the same. Doesn't have the hunger because he doesn't need to fight. I don't even think it's a hunger thing. I think he's just fucked it. You know what I mean? He's just absolutely fucked it, bro. With the drinking and with all the shit. He's not even the same person. I don't give a fuck what Connor does, to be honest. The sport's better off without him in some ways, but do you think Izzy's titty is from gyno or juice? Both. I think he's got gyno from taking juice. And the fact that he tried to say it was weed is fucking hilarious, bro. Random question, but I saw people on Instagram debate who wins in a street fight, Colby Covington or Triple G. Again, did Golovkin do it? A street fight? Oh yeah. What my? I thought you was talking about fucking. I don't know what I thought you was talking about. Yeah, bro. Fucking Colby mops the floor with him. Colby mops the floor with him. I'm not even saying that as like, oh, generic like MMA versus boxing in a street fight. The MMA fighter always wins. It's not the case. But in that specific matchup, Colby versus Triple G, no chance. Too small as well. Too small. Triple G. Um, maybe not too small in that way, but you need to be a bigger boxer to beat the MMA fight. You know what I mean? Um, you think Charles could beat Islam in a rematch? I think he could. Absolutely, he could. Do I think he does? No, but I would. I hope so. Fuck MMA. Why Chelsea so shit? I don't really follow football, but I'm sorry you're having a bad season. It's crazy, bro. Like the best teams in the world, Man City, Chelsea, all the top Prem teams, they all seem to just take it in turns year after year, just being awful. Um, the Diaz brothers probably were natural, aside from the insane amount of weed that was illegal at the time. Yeah, they probably are natural. That's true. That's true. Who's your favorite fighter right now and favorite fighter of all time? Favorite fighter right now? Um, Roman Kopylov, Jack Della Maddalena, Aspinall, um, Nathaniel Wood. Favorite fighter of all time? Big Nog, JDS, Shogun. But basically all the top guys in Pride, essentially. You know what I mean? Big Nog, Fedor, Krokop, Shogun. Uh, you know, all of those guys. Sakuraba. Um, I saw a post about Tate Bros beating Habib and Islam in a street fight. Yeah, the Tate. I think Tristan Tate could have done well in MMA. He has the MMA vibe, you know what I mean? Andrew's too chinny, he's too, you know what I mean? He'd get cleaned. I know he did have some MMA fights, but yeah, I don't think Andrew Tate would do very well in MMA. I think Tristan would though. Izzy said Izzy also said he had skin cancer. Yeah, fuck Izzy, man. He's fell off big time. Mike Tyson versus John Jones street fight. Who wins? Most likely John Jones is the easy answer, right? But Mike Tyson is kind of a different example because he's from that. You know what I mean? He's from that. He isn't just he isn't Ryan Garcia. You know, Man City's version of being shit is second place with 97 points. Yeah, I remember Man City used to be shit when I was in school. I had a guy that supported Man City and he used to get clowned for it. And then, like 5 years later, I seen company lifting the fucking trophy. I was like, when did Man City get good? Now they're just on top. Doubt is his team would let him do juice, to be honest. Heard a lot about Eugene. His New Zealand's fight scene is fucking tiny and it goes against basically everything that gym stands for. Then again, what do I know? Yeah, but bro, I know, but like how? How then? How's he grew a tit? You know what I mean? There is no way, no chance that it's weed, no chance that it's fucking try to say Chadwick Boseman shit, right? It's if you just show it to a pharmacologist and say, "What is this from?" The first thing they will say is, "Oh, that's probably steroids." And every time he has a tit, he seems to like perform better. You know what I mean? Like he had a tit against Whitaker, he had a tit against Pereira, but he didn't have a tit against Gastelum. You know, did he have a tit against Strickland? I can't remember. The fact you have to try and stare at Izzy's fucking nipples and try and see if he's got the tit or not is enough for me to be like, but I know what you mean. I mean, Eugene Behrman drives me fucking crazy, to be honest. I think he's a bit of a prick, but obviously you're a Kiwi. I get it. Ride for your boys and all that lot. I think Yoel kills everyone on the street. Yeah, probably, bro. Probably, to be honest. Yoel is Yoel should have come into the sport a lot sooner, man. MMA always beats boxing in street fights. If you're a good wrestler, yeah, I can't see. I mean, you know, who's a good example? Who has zero wrestling? Because you can't shoot a blast double leg on the street all the time. You'll hit a car, like a parked car. You'll hit a fucking shop window and fly through it. You'll hit a lamppost. You'll hit somebody's fence. You know what I mean? It isn't like an open, so it isn't always as simple as that. But yeah, most of the time, yeah. You think Aspinall has a chance on an older Jones? I think not only does he have a chance, I'd pick Aspinall in that fight. To be fair, if Yoel Romero was in the UFC in his late 20s or early 30s, he could have been a guy with guy was an absolute menace even at 38. Yeah, he just too many surgeries. He had his neck fused and shit. He's just disgusting surgeries. Yeah, City used before the Sheik. What is that? What happened? Sheik's put money into City and sorted him out. Tristan is huge. Probably could have had a decent run if he worked on his grappling a bit. Yeah, for real. I like Tristan, man. I don't really like Andrew Tate, but I like Tristan Tate. I'm not saying the tit isn't fucked, probably on some form of tea. Talk to us about Eugene. Laugh my ass off. What's he done? Um, he it's the same shit everybody's complaining about, but he basically said about Duplessis pulling out of the fight. Well, you pulled out the fight. There's your chance. This is done. You know what I'm saying? You had your chance. You should have fought. You fucking didn't want to push through your injuries and this and that. Um, real fighters push through their injuries. We have injured guys all the time and they don't pull out. So now Drickus loses his title shot, we're fighting someone else. And then Dan Hooker gets injured, pulls out. So many of his fighters get injured. Izzy's saying he's not fighting until 2027 now. I just think he was a prick in that specific interview, personally, anyway. Although he's probably just trying to be a bit of a character as well to boost his shit. You know what I mean? Had it against Paulo Costa, probably the worst time it was there, but one of his best performances too. Yep, there you go. Had it against Costa, smoked him, and grazed him as well. Grazed Costa, right? Who ate big shots from Yoel Romero and stuck his tongue out. Izzy grazed him and completely flatlined him almost. So, is it a coincidence that Izzy has a tit and he's one of the best middleweights, if not the best middleweight of all time? Is it a coincidence that Jones pops and he's the best fighter of the sport's ever seen? You know what I mean? You have to give value to these things. Dustin Poirier beats every boxer under 185 pounds in the street. Yeah, it's probably not a bad shout. I don't think, but I think the issue with boxers in the street would be the defense. I don't think they'll be able to cover up where Dustin Stonewall works in real life. Gang, what's up, RJs? I didn't know if any of you lot would be awake, to be honest. I was gonna go. I got in, and I thought, let me roll a joint, watch some fights. I thought, you know what? Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna go live. I have this fucking YouTube channel. Why? You know what I mean? Why not? Can Jairzinho Rosenstruck wrestle? Haven't watched much of that guy. He can't really wrestle, no, but he's Rosenstrike kind of looked promising at one point, but I think Rosenstrike could knock most of the boxers out. You know what I mean? If you're talking Rosenstrike versus a heavyweight boxer, he'd probably just fucking kick him in the head. Poirier versus Beterbiev street fight. Yeah, I don't know about I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that one. Don't know if you watch boxing, but what do you think of Joshua and Wilder fighting on the same card but not against each other? I do watch boxing somewhat, not nearly as much of MMA, but I do keep up with it I keep up with the politics, I keep up with what's happening, but I don't watch like full boxing cards, you know what I mean? But what do I think of Joshua and Wilder fighting on the same card but not against each other? Could work out if they both win. I understand what they're trying to do, but you know, who are they fighting? Isn't Joshua fighting like a legit guy and Wilder's fighting a bit of a bum? Is that not accurate? Boxing is a never-ending cock tease. Yeah, that's what I mean. Watching tweets blow up and get like 100K likes, like these two guys are talking about fighting. And everyone's like, "Yes, boys, we're finally getting the fight we wanted." And then they'll get booked against some random like mandatory defense. You know what I mean? It's just long. I couldn't deal with it personally. You know what I mean? I think you deserve a little bit more respect. Manchester City are owned by Abu Dhabi United Group, an investment company for the Abu Dhabi royal family. The group purchased the club for 200 million. They put billions into the club. Yeah, because I remember everybody's complaints was just saying Man City are only good because of the money they have. So that makes sense. Do you think UFC is going to be a long term thing considering this generation is soft as is, but future generations getting softer? Yeah, I don't think MMA is going anywhere, and I would argue the pendulum's slowly swinging back. I would argue that you can say some stuff on the internet now that you maybe couldn't say 6 months ago. You know, I think personally, right? I think all the woke people are fucking idiots, and I think all the based people are fucking idiots. If you're trying to like, I'm based, fuck this, I'm based, I'm taking the controversial opinion, you cringe. And if you're talking, I'm woke, you can't do that. You would just let people be happy. Like, no, the world doesn't work like that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm about as centralist as a man could be. Like, I don't give a fuck about, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not left, I'm not right. I have a lot of right wing takes, I have a lot of left wing takes. But to call yourself based, red pill, blue pill, yeah, exactly, yeah. It's all just silly, bro. Most of these red pill guys just hate women, and they think a bartender smiling at them is a woman leading them on. You know what I mean? And then all of the woke people, the bartender smiles at them, and they write a tweet longer about how uncomfortable they felt about it and that it was sexual assault. You know what I mean? You can't win. Boxing and wrestling, the best for the street. Probably Muay Thai and wrestling, I would say. Just because boxing, you're 4 ounce Muay Thai and wrestling, let's say. Boxing cards feel like they're taking an entire weekend to watch. Yeah, boxing cards are rough, bro. They are very rough. Joshua fighting Otto Wallin, and Wilder fighting Joseph Parker. Yeah, okay. So really, Joshua's fighting the bum, really, and Wilder's fighting Parker because Parker's legit, right? Otto Wallin, that's the guy that Fury had a tune-up against, if I'm not mistaken, right? Amen. Blue pill, red. Oh, I just read that. Boxing a lot of cherry picking. I swear I never even heard of Progress until he fought Haney. But to be fair, I don't keep up with the prospects like I do in the UFC. I'd heard of Progress or however you say his fucking name, but only because there's about 3 people in every division that are like, you know what I mean? I just couldn't do it, bro. All these belts, like I know everybody likes to complain about the belts all the time, but it is ridiculous how many fucking belts there are. It is stupid. Bro, this generation is fine. Most people have common sense, at least where I'm from. A lot of that red pill, blue pill based shit is just online bullshit. Very true. Very true. Very true. Um, yeah. Common sense is a big thing, right? Common sense, you know. Um, I just feel like it's very lost sometimes. Like people will be arguing. I don't know. Do you know what the worst part about it all for me is? On whether this is red pill, blue pill, whatever this is, right? The worst part about what how the internet is today is that I'll be in work, right? And I'll scroll through my phone and I will get some fucking 210-pound woman with acne all over her fucking arse, twerking on camera, fully naked, with "Come subscribe to my OnlyFans" in the thing, and I have no choice whether I see that. Whether they're a baddie, whether they're ugly, whether they're fat, whether it's a supermodel, I don't care what it is. At 10 a.m. when I'm at work, I do not want to see fucking naked women thirst. Like, do you know the Belle Delphine face? You know where they like cross their eyes and stick their tongue out? You know that face? Bro, that's type of shit will ruin my day seeing that shit. I just hate how fucking these women, bro, just I don't even mean it in an incel way, like, they have no self-respect, but they don't. It isn't 2020 anymore. You can't just become a millionaire off OnlyFans. So many of these girls are putting nudes on OnlyFans and nobody's subscribing, and you've just taken the L. You know what I'm saying? And you've got no money from it. Please stop. Go back to fucking drives me crazy, bro. Red pill men are just women deprived incels and just need to get laid. For the most part, yeah. Women do be doing bullshit, and it's very it's very popular now to hate on like straight white people as well. Like the internet, especially Twitter, tries to make people ashamed of being like cis when that's just taking 3 steps backwards. You know what I mean? I can't. Oh, Wallin gave problems to Fury. To be fair, he also beat Gassiev recently. Yeah, I don't really keep up with boxing, but I do remember Orwellian's or Wallin. I don't know how to say his name. He's a German guy, right? Or is that a different guy? I can't self-upload my edit in this chat, huh? I haven't turned any settings on, bro. You should be able to post anything. Muay Thai doesn't have the head movement that boxing has, so in my opinion, boxing is better for your average person who doesn't know how to throw kicks. Yeah, but also boxers can't throw kicks. So yes, the head movement's better and you can get out, but Muay Thai, in my opinion, is the better striking just because you learn clinch trips, you learn knees in the clinch, and a lot of street fighting is grabbing onto clothes and people just sloppily trying to hold on to you, elbow in the clinch, knee, sweep them, and then the wrestling. I think Muay Thai. Plus, a leg kick. Nobody wants to get leg kick, bro. I don't care how gangster they are. One leg kick will make people cry. And in street fights, kicking isn't usually best. The best thing I've found is you're off balance and you can get grabbed, dumped. Yeah, true, true. But if you've got any sort of balance, um, I feel like people don't have balance in street fights. That's like one of the biggest things you will see. People that don't know how to fight, the main thing is balance and cardio. They'll throw punches for 15 seconds, fall over twice, and they're done. They're done, bro. There's nothing left. Uh, Boxing helped me the most in fights, wrestling slash Baja. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Um, but yeah, street fights. Every street fight that I've ever had, bro. I'm a big guy, right? And most street fights I've had have been with people quicker than me. Even at school, I was always the slow one. So I'm always grabbing, bro. I wouldn't call it even wrestling or anything. Like I just grab, pick up, slam. You know what I mean? I'm not standing there swinging it with some fucking 18-year-old fucking out in the club while I'm half drunk, standing there squaring up, trying to land jab straights, bro. Fuck that. Um, I think I heard this on Reddit, but someone said the interim belt should be silver and the champ belt should be gold. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree completely. I agree 100%. Um, that is very true. It's just that the common or normal people just don't spend their day with that bullshit and just go on with their day. Idiots are dominating the internet. That's just it. Are we talking about the internet shit? Wrestling slash BJJ is just because of knives and shit. Yeah, yeah, no, it is. It is. I've never and somebody booting you in the fucking head. You know, somebody's friend stamping on your shit while you're on the ground. I've never seen an elbow thrown in a street fight before. But yeah, Muay Thai is the best striking base. I've never seen an elbow thrown standing, but I've seen people throw elbows on the ground. Does Dutch kickboxing use elbows? No, I don't think so. I'd say sambo is better than wrestling. Yeah, I mean sambo is basically just MMA, right? Essentially, it's like MMA in a gi. But yeah, sambo is a great street fighting sport because of the gi, because you learn how to do proper judo throws while using the clothes that somebody's wearing and using that for leverage. So sambo is probably the best, but even better than MMA, I would say. Um, No, elbows are forbidden. It is allowed in Muay Thai for the most part, though. Yeah, elbows are forbidden in a lot of kickboxing. Even sometimes in kickboxing you'll see knees allowed, and sometimes you won't. It's a tricky one. What's your go-to combo in sparring? Um, I'm pretty like bad with staying composed in sparring. I always have these ideas of what I want to go for, but then as soon as I take a couple of shots, like it's kind of just like in the moment. You know what I mean? Um, my gym is very I mean, it's the gym I'm at is Rough House, if anybody knows. It's HW1, it's Dan Hardy, Jimmy Warled, it's all of them. Like, obviously, I'm not in the pro classes, um, so I'm not, hard sparring with pros, but it's still, the attitude is still pretty like, get your gloves on, get your shin pads on. We're doing this today, deal with it. You know what I mean? That's their attitude. So people get hurt. My cousin had a fight recently, and the first punch he threw, he broke his hand. I spoke about this a few streams ago. First punch he first punch he threw bounced off the top of the guy's head, and he completely broke his hand. Had to take him down and arm triangle him. But my go-to combo is probably jab lead body hook, or fake the jab lead body hook. Um, Love the stream. Thank you so much, John. Appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna throw hella elbows when I get in a fight. Get too close to me with the overhand. Boom, John Jones elbow to the mouth. That's what I mean with Muay Thai with the clinching, because a lot of street fighting is clinching essentially, or you know what I mean, just grabbing each other. What do you train, bro? I just train. I train like I train as in I'll weight lift and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing like a body recomp. I'm like trying to lose weight and gain muscle. But if you mean combat sports, just I just heard a noise in my house. Just MMA, I guess. Um, Sometimes I'll skip the K1 class and only go to jiu-jitsu. Sometimes I'll go to jiu-jitsu and skip the rest of the classes for the week. You know what I mean? I'm not there every day training MMA, and I'm not planning to ever really fight either. But I more do it just because I'm a fan. Um, and I love the place. I love the gym. I love the guys there, you know what I mean? Imagine getting into an argument with someone in a pub and the cunt pulls guard and your mate just punts him in the head. Hilarious. Yeah, exactly. That's why jiu-jitsu is hard, especially in pubs. You can have a planned tactic and be prepared, but Mike Tyson's famous quote always seems to be in place. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah, for real, bro. Um, for me, it's like everybody has a plan until the fucking bell rings. You know what I mean? Like, I can be stood there and I'm like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and go southpaw and get the outside foot, land a good straight to the body. Like, that's my one goal for this round. Just work on the outside foot, try and catch him with that body shot and get out the way for the counter. I want to get better at straights to the body, jabs to the body. And then the bell rings and I'm just like, left hook, my fucking eyes are closed, swinging, you know what I mean? It's hard, man. Do you ever see Dan Hardy? I do, yeah. I have seen him a few times. Never training. He just pops in with his wife and then says hello to everyone. Dan Hardy's cool as fuck, bro. He makes sure to come in and say hello to everyone. Even if, because the MMA classes are upstairs and then they have a normal gym downstairs. So if Dan Hardy comes in and he comes upstairs, he'll say hello to everyone. And then on the way out of the door downstairs, he'll say hello to everyone in the gym as well. Even just random people in the gym, students and shit, they probably have no idea who he is because it's his gym. You know what I mean? He says hello to everyone. And my little cousin came with me once and his friend came that's like a pretty new UFC fan. Um, and he knows who Dan Hardy is, obviously, from his breakdowns. And Dan Hardy came in, and he was like, it was fucking embarrassing. He was like, "Bro, I used to watch you I used to watch you knock people out when I was a kid." And I was thinking, "No, you fucking didn't." But obviously, I didn't say anything. But yeah, no, the first time I met Dan Hardy was cool as fuck, bro. I was actually reading his book. And I said to him, like, I know this sounds corny as fuck, and I apologize, but I'm reading your book at the minute. And he wrote this part about his granddad. And I was just like, bro, it made me cry. You know what I mean? And he was just like, oh, I appreciate that. He's a fucking solid guy, Dan Hardy is. And Jimmy Warled, all of those guys, the Cage Warriors guys, all of the guys in the gym are all great. That's true, especially a punch from Mike. If he can land on you once, it's probably done from there. Yeah, Mike will gouge your eyes out, bro. You know what I mean? He'll bite your nose off. He's different. Mike's a bit of a different example. Watching Charles versus Dariush, rest in peace, my boy Benny, man. I know everyone has seen the edit of the guy knocking the other guy out with the craziest, hardest elbow ever and then pointing at it. That's what I want to do. Yeah, the Matt Brown elbow as well. Like, he used to post with the lead hand, boom, throw the elbow down, straight down the middle, over the top of the eyebrow, just fucking shatter people, bro. Is that why your channel is named Left Hook Harry? No. Funny story. I had about 50 different names written in the notes of my phone for this channel. It started off some corny shit, bro. It started off like I wanted to do like an MMA on point thing, and I called it like cage side MMA or some shit. And then it went to I wanted to make like long form documentary style videos. And then I was just like, I don't, I can't be doing with all this. I'm just gonna make like me sitting there talking. Left Hook Harry is just I'm British. Bisping's Left Hook Larry. My actual name is Harry. You know what I mean? I just thought it was a little cool fucking reference. Although I wasn't prepared for how many people call me Larry, bro. The amount of people that call me Larry is crazy. I might have to get a lighter, boys. This ain't looking good. Let me try and find one. See if my girlfriend will throw me one up. Olive's just knocked Dariush out. Yeah, rest in peace to my boy, man. Who is the main event for the Olives versus Dariush fight? I forgot. It was a dead one. It was dead because that was basically the main event. Everyone was like, I think it was Nunes Pena 2 or Nunes and somebody, I think. Nice, that works. All right, boys. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Yeah, Nunes and somebody. Maybe Nunes Aldana, actually. I think it was Nunes Aldana, actually, because she retired, right? I can't remember. I just remember people being like, this is the main event. Cheers, my friends. Yeah, that was the PPM in Canada. Yeah, Mike Malott was on that card as well, right? That was when he got the nice reception. Nice. We're on, boys. We're on. I've just found an absolute blender. Anybody else smoking? I don't know whether to push this smoking thing as part of my channel identity, you know what I mean? Because I don't want YouTube to clap my shit. But at the same time, nobody on YouTube in the MMA world is kind of doing these kind of videos. Even down to my backdrop. Like I look like a fucking ego, or like I'm about to put makeup on or some shit, you know what I mean? Everybody in MMA is just tries to be super alpha. I don't mind being a fucking dipshit stoner, as somebody said earlier about O'Malley, you know what I mean? I don't mind making that sort of part of this channel's identity, but like doing videos like, you know, like a card prediction, for example, predicting a whole card, and at the beginning of the video, spark a joint, smoke the joint, talk about the card, you know what I mean? Bro, start every vid with you lighting one up. The problem with that is the bots, like if you swear in the first 10 seconds or some shit like that, they like age restrict your video. So if I'm smoking in the first 10 seconds, I have a feeling that they'll age restrict my shit. Don't make it gay, do it properly, of course. Yeah, well, um, I want to do it. I want to do it. And I want to do more of these streams. You know what I mean? When I go live, just chilling, I want the titles to be kind of like roll on up, come fucking talk about MMA. Like I want to attract those kind of people because I know that there isn't many MMA YouTubers. They're all very commercial. You know what I mean? They're all very trying to get fucking like into the industry and stuff, I guess. Personally, I'd like to see you review strains on this channel too. Weed content and MMA is mostly what I watch, so this channel would be cooler for me. Strain reviews on Left Hook Harry, bro. That would take people fucking off guard. You should play games on the stream. I would like to do that. I need to set up OBS with YouTube because I know you can do that. I would like to have like an overlay. You know, if I can, when somebody subscribes or when somebody likes the stream, some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or like if we're watching the fight companions, have the round timer on the screen. I know I can do that shit. I just have to figure it out. I'm such a dick rider that I hate how Buffer said Charles' name post fight. Charles Dubronx Oliveira. Where's the Y? Oliveira. I got you. Yeah. No, a lot of people say his name like that. Oliveira. Charles Oliveira. That's kind of how I used to say Cowboy Oliveira. No, Cowboy Oliveira. I didn't say it like that. I know what you mean. It's a Brazilian name, bro. It's like Pereira. You know what I'm saying? Watch this. See how he starts his videos with a joint. I can't actually see anything, bro. If you've linked something, do I like any grapplers in the UFC? You think do you mean me? Do I like any grapplers in the UFC? Yeah, of course. Pure grapplers. I like. I mean, Chase Hooper looked great in his last fight. I like Pantoja's grappling. I think he's probably going to sub Royval. Most slept on MMA channel, hands down. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you for fucking popping in. What's good? What's good, Leon? Leon? Leon. Don't know why I said Leon. I put the YouTube link in chat. Could you not see it? I can't, bro. It must not. I don't know why I can't see it, but no, I can't see it. I learned how to say Pereira. Pereira. I just say Alex Pereira. Can't see it either. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it, in case you like joined stream and was like spamming your channel or some shit. I guess they don't allow it. I really don't want to go downstairs and get a lighter, but the fucking only two I just found are dead. Don't make me do it. I'll come back and there'll be half a person left in the stream. You think Tony could spark Paddy? I don't know if he could spark him. I definitely think he could beat him. Definitely think he could beat him on a decision. Can't see him finishing him in any way, really, but could definitely see him beating him. Paddy is Paddy, you know what I'm saying? He's nothing too special, I don't think. So, do you know about the Delta strains, Delta 8, HHC, etc.? I do, yeah, I do. I don't smoke anything other than straight THC flower. Like that's it. I don't even smoke bongs. I don't smoke dabs. I don't smoke blunts. I don't smoke carts. I smoke joints, raw paper, no tobacco, straight weed, gassy strains. That's me. You know what I mean? I'm not about the fucking. I don't even eat edibles. You know what I mean? I enjoy a joint. I enjoy raw paper. You know what I'm saying? Um, so no, I don't. I haven't smoked Delta. I haven't smoked a Delta strain. I haven't smoked Delta 8. I haven't smoked like CBD or anything either, to be honest. Um, can you give a quick shout out to my boys' new ice cream shop? Yeah, yeah, nice try, bro. I might be a new YouTuber, bro, but I ain't falling for that one. I ain't falling for that one. Delta 8 edibles are crazy, man. I only use them for that, and it's like $30 for an ounce. Fucking hell. That's crazy, to be honest. They suck to smoke though. What's the difference? Like, I understand what the difference is, like in terms of like the science, right? I understand the difference between Delta 8 and regular bud, regular THC. But what's the buzz like? You know what I mean? What's the high like? What is it different? You got a favorite strain? Um, do I have a favorite strain? Yes, probably Skittles. Probably Skittles. Skittles or like a nice gelato 41 or some shit. Try and see if you read anything in the comments. Say like Bisping. Nah, bro. Somebody did get me with something the other week, but it was a pretty creative one. Best GTA, I think GTA 4 is the best. I completely agree with you, John. I think GTA 4 is the best by quite a large margin, actually, to be honest. Big GTA 4 guy. Random bit in your belt tier list, you left out the very first UFC belt with the Ultraman holding the earth. Yeah, right. Where would I rank it? I like it. I like it. It has a little hint of red on it as well, right? Or am I? I think I'm picturing it right. Where am I ranking it? Probably A tier. Probably A tier. I mean, with that tier list, I was trying to do looks and kind of, like, like an iconic, like, what does it mean? But then as I was going on, I was putting like Cage Warriors belt in fucking A tier and shit, you know what I mean? So it's just straight looks. But yeah, I did leave out that very first belt. You're right. You're right. I left out a couple of belts on that list. But yeah, none of them eat me alive, like missing Jose Aldo, Charles Oliveira, some other guys from the Modern Champions list. Because that video has got decent views, and I left so many people out. Excuse me. I've been been trying to get like 4 liters of water in me a day, and I'm just having these weird like cold like water fucking burp things. Like, you know, I think I'm drinking a bit too much water too fast, bro. Just feel like you know what I mean? Please, alhamdulillah, please. Might have to happen, boys. I might have to just be right back real quick and grab a lighter. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in literally like 25 seconds. I'm just going to go grab a lighter, so bear with me 1 second. 1 second. My bad. We're on. We're on. Okay. Thank you for waiting, everyone. Thought I was going to come back and everyone was going to be gone, bro. Um, right, where was I? Belt tier list. It's just diet weed. It's more of a functional high. The tolerance raises a lot faster than weed, so it's not that great. But the edibles, when you take them, convert into the same as regular THC eddies. It's like opiates, like codeine, that kind of stuff. As soon as you ingest it, it metabolizes into morphine. So everybody everybody that takes fucking codeine, Percocets, all these different opiates, it all metabolizes into morphine. So I guess it's kind of the same with that Delta 8 shit and THC, right? He can walk. I can walk, bro. I can walk. I can run. I ran up those stairs and now I'm trying to act like I'm not out of breath, even though I am. So thank you for bearing with me for them 10 seconds. I'm okay now. I was scared everybody was going to go. What's your favorite UFC fight of all time? That's a good question. Probably Jones Gus, just because of. I mean, that was a time where my interest of the sport was ramping up. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to watch every single card, start to finish, and never miss a card. Um, around that time, that era, just seeing Gustafsson with those blue and yellow bad boy shorts, it just reminds me of being in high school, bro. You know, I think that fight was like 2014 or something, 2013. Sorry, maybe Jones and Gus won. If we're talking um, more of a modern fight, I would probably say Chandler Gaethje was pretty cool. I know it's pretty cliche, generic answer, but Chandler Gaethje, like that show could have not lived up to the hype. You know what I mean? But it did. Also, have you ever taken a dab like from a rig? I have in Amsterdam, yeah, but only once. Rigs will kill your brain. Yeah, see, I don't know about kill your brain. Not as in I disagree with it. I don't know what you're referring to. I guess there's some science behind that. But apologies. But one thing I will say is everybody's always trying to smoke weed in like the most crazy way, right? They're trying to roll a 3-5 in a fucking backwood and smoke the whole thing. Relax. You know what I mean? There's nothing better on this earth, in my opinion, than a joint. Just roll a joint, smoke it to yourself. You don't need to smoke no tobacco leaf in a blunt wrap. You don't need to kill your lungs by hitting a big rip of a gram fucking wax dab or hitting a huge bong rip and trying to hold the whole thing in for fucking 15 seconds. Just smoke the weed, bro. Just smoke the weed. People always say Muay Thai is great striking base for MMA, but people rarely adapt it in MMA. Yeah, there's been some good examples over the years of people adapting it in MMA, but a lot of them change slightly. You got people like Jose Aldo, Edson Barboza, Khalil Roundtree, even. Still here, mate. Thank you, boys. His views went up while he left. Yeah, maybe I should leave more often. I think it's because there's more money in Muay Thai right now. There's more money than what? More money in Muay Thai than kickboxing? Oh, okay. I think I get you. MMA, right? I got you. Yeah. One have really changed the game with this 4-ounce Muay Thai stuff. A lot of the Muay Thai purists don't like it, and I guess I can understand why. Because if they brought out like MMA with 12-ounce boxing gloves and everybody started watching that over normal MMA, I would be like, why the fuck are you guys watching that? You know what I mean? Watch the real thing. So a lot of Muay Thai purists don't like the 4-ounce MMA. I mean, the 4-ounce Muay Thai that one do, but bro, it's so good. It makes clinching so much better. I felt like I feel like Muay Thai should have been 4-ounce from the get go. Sorry, boys. It's getting to that time. I'm slowing down. I think it's because I already read that. I rewatched John versus Gus one, kind of sucked. You think so? Maybe it's because we get like these crazy fights all the fucking time. It's also crazy because Jones wasn't preparing for Gus at all, and Gus was a huge underdog. You know, this was Jones in his ultimate prime, bro. Coming off of his whole light heavyweight title run, and nobody gave Gus a chance, and he almost pulled it off. So, but one of my favorite fighters of all time is Alexander Gustafsson. So I also know that that's probably part of the reason why I enjoy that fight so much. You know what I mean? Let me ask everybody else. Here's a question for you. If How do I word this? Anything you hate about the Guru? Um, nah, bro. Guru's cool. I think he used to be a lot cooler. You know what I mean? I think he plays up to the shenanigans a little bit too much these days, which is fine because he goes viral from all that shit. But I don't really watch Guru anymore. But when I originally watched Guru, the reason I liked him so much was because it was kind of like these vibes almost. Like he was just sitting in his bedroom talking about MMA. You know what I'm saying? His mum would like come and say goodnight to him in the middle of him recording a video and he'd get all angry about it. You know what I mean? He was just like a Cartman type shit. Um, but now he's a bit more like a character, right? He's a bit more of a diva. He's a bit more of like a thing like MMA Guru. It's like, I don't know, but I'm happy for Guru's success. And I'm happy that he's one thing that always used to bug me about him is that he would talk all this shit and then he would never, even though he had the money for it, he would never go to any of these UFC events because I guess he was kind of like low key worried about people like sticking it on him. So that's the only thing I'd say. But now it seems like he's all over the place. I know he's just went to South Africa. I never thought he would do that. You know, I thought he would. I never thought he would want to be in person with these fighters when he'd said so much crazy shit. He was also the first one to kind of make shit talking fighters um, like a popular thing. Now people do it way too much. People are way too confident in that shit. You know, everybody loves to say, "Oh, fucking, I don't know. Here's a good example. Here's a good example. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning so much. Here's a good example, right? I don't know. I can't think of an example. I don't want to spend 10 minutes trying to think of one, but Guru made it popular to shit talk fighters very badly, right? Call them pussies, call them bitches, all of this stuff. Nobody was doing that before him. Now everybody does that. I think it's corny, to be honest. Um, but me and Guru are the same age, the exact same age. Like if we was in school, he would be like in my classes. You know what I mean? Um, I feel like these past few years, I've changed a lot. Um, and I feel like he is very much the same, maybe even a little bit worse with his I don't know. I don't want to shit talk fucking Guru, bro. He's cool. You know what I mean? He's cool. I know he's like flavor of the month right now. Or flavor of the year, I should say. And I'm happy for him. So no, I've no shade on Guru. I just for a long time I was like, how can you make this a career? How can you be an MMA YouTuber, make your whole thing like shit talking fighters, and then you don't, and then you're that scared to pull up to like imagine being a famous MMA YouTuber and making thousands a month from doing that, and you can't even go and watch an event. You know what I mean? He was scared to go essentially. So that's the one thing I would say. Now he's all over the place. So good for him, man. But no, nothing I hate about the Guru. Cool guy. Yeah. In the states, there's a loophole. If sorry, I took way too long answering that question. I just know that a lot of you guys watch Guru as like your main guy. So in the states, there's a loophole. If you get a lab work saying your weed is THC, oh, it is THCA weed, you can sell it legally. All weed is THCA before you spark it. After it changes into THC. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Remember when people used to say that your blood's blue, and then when you get cut and the oxygen gets to your blood, it turns red? Was that ever a like real thing? Gus is so underrated. Damn, that's how long I took answering the MMA Guru question. Is well, I forgot we was talking about Gustafson about fucking 4 hours ago. But yeah, Gustafson very underrated. Um, had DC on skates, almost beat Jones. You know, great light heavyweight. Any Grandmaster Jesse fans in the house? Not me personally, but um, not me personally, but I do. I like all the MMA YouTubers, bro. I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? You will never, ever, ever, ever catch me trying to stir up controversy or any of that shit. You know what I mean? I'm chill, bro. I've got too much shit going on in real life to be making videos trying to call people out and whatever. You know what I mean? So I like all of them. You know what I mean? Anybody that's on this MMA grind. One thing that I will say, and I kind of wanted to make a video about this, but I won't do it because again, not trying to be negative, right? Why are all MMA YouTubers exactly the same? Exactly the same. Why do they all have MMA? Or is it's always just a word? Then MMA is the channel name. Every single thumbnail is like a white background with a transparent. I mean, yeah, transparent like a JPEG of a fighter. So let's say, for example, it's a picture of Sean O'Malley, right? The title is "We Need to Talk About Sean O'Malley," and then it'll be like a picture of O'Malley with a white background, and there'll be text next to his head that says, "This doesn't look good." You know what I mean? Come on, boys, do your own thing, please. You know what I mean? I don't know who started it. I don't know if it was Lucas. I don't know if it was TJ Loves Fights. I don't know if who it was. If it kind of stretched over from. It's funny that I just said Lucas and TJ Loves Fights, and Isaiah you literally just named the two people in the exact order that I did it as well. But yeah, Lucas, TJ, um, all of them. All of them do it. Every single one. Like my YouTube homepage, I can't even tell who's who because all the thumbnails are exactly the same. That's why it's always shout out to Bedtime because Bedtime does his own shit. He his channel. You won't find another MMA channel like his channel, and I'd like to say the same about mine. Whether that's a positive or a negative thing, I don't think there's many MMA channels out there in the bedtime style of videos, and I don't think there's many MMA channels um, that do this. You know, that do what I do with the editing and the kind of not like I do crazy editing. I'm more mean the I don't know how to explain it. Like how like I almost just edit it like I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but I try and make them different. Is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to just be like news channel. You know what I'm saying? I know I've just been pumping tier lists out, and I am sorry about that. But I am going to switch the content up a little bit now. A comment stuck with me. It was keep feeding the algorithm until you can get about 1K views a video every time. I'm kind of there now, so I'm gonna start doing some cool fucking ideas for videos now. I love TJ fight. TJ loves fights, boxing content, but it's changed a lot towards MMA. It has, yeah, it has. Lucas Tracy does that white background thing a lot, but he's a cool dude. He is a cool dude. Lucas actually not reached out to me, but he commented on one of my videos, which is like one of my first ever videos. And he commented something like, "Your channel keeps getting recommended to me. You must be doing something right. Keep up the great work." So then I joined his stream when I was at work the other day, and I donated him like £5 or some shit, and just said like, "Yo, fucking." I asked him for like a prediction. I didn't say like, "Oh, you commented on my video the other day." I just asked him for something, right? I just said, "Oh, what do you think about this?" Straight away, he goes, "Oh, left hook carry, bro. I was watching a video of yours the other day. Like, keep doing your thing, bro." Like, Lucas Tracy's cool as fuck, man. You know, genuinely like remembered me from a passing video on his home screen. So, with the oversaturation of MMA YouTubers these days, I appreciate that from Lucas. So yeah, shout out Lucas Tracy. Shout out Bedtime as well. Bedtime also commented on my on the same video. So I watch martial arts geared YouTubers more than MMA YouTubers, if that makes sense. Sensei Seth Ramsey, yeah, I got you, I got you. The whole crowd is pretty great for folks who train. Yeah, Corey Sandhagen as well. You can throw in there. He's just started on the YouTube grind, but no, I agree. Jack Slack as well. I would throw him in there. Maybe he's a bit more of an MMA YouTuber, but he's mostly analysis, you know, and like technique breakdowns and stuff like that. Filthy Casuals guides. Jack Slack does helped me personally stop getting clattered with calf kicks when that was just the thing everybody was doing for like 3 months in the gym. Um, but yeah, Sensei Seth is fire. He's been doing this thing for a while now, and he gets it as well. He gets the YouTube game. He knows what he's doing with that kind of shit. I just did leg checking tonight. I'm feeling the burn. Bro, I wasn't even checking because I'd get paired up with guys my size, so I'm not checking nobody's kick, bro. That shit hurts. But how long have you been training, Isaiah? Yo, my guy, any predictions on who's going to be fighting at UFC 300? By the way, keep up the great work, my guy. Thank you for popping back in, bro. I believe you're the guy that said you'd recently got into the sport, right? Forgive me if I'm wrong, and that was a different person, but I'm pretty sure that was you. Any predictions who's going to be fighting at UFC 300? Honestly, I kind of want to say it with my chest, but at the same time, I don't really believe it. If I was going to be honest, I think Rousey's coming back. I think Ronda Rousey. I think they're going to get her back for UFC 300. Nunes is retired. The bantamweight division's wide open. I think Rousey could beat a lot of the girls. She's had a decent run in WWE where she might be getting bored of it, might want to come back to MMA. And do I think that she would come back now Nunes is gone? I do think she would. I don't fully believe it. I don't think that that's the case. Um, but it's just for the spectacle. You know what I mean? Who really cares about Rousey? It's not really that. It's just because it's UFC 300, right? UFC 100, they had Brock, Frank Mir. They had like some great fights on. They have some great fights in on UFC 100. And UFC 200, they brought Brock back, which is why like UFC 300, it's either got to be Conor or Rousey, in my opinion. If it's not Rousey, I would say maybe like, oh, I don't even know. I don't even know. GSP says it's not him. I wouldn't say GSP anyway. If it's Izzy Pereira 3, I don't really care about that either. 2-3 years now, I was really into BJJ boxing and Wing Chun, but I just started doing full on MMA classes very, very recently. That's fire, bro. He's really into Wing Chun. What? Educate me, bro. What is that? Holloway have anything booked? No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Um, he wanted to fight Gaethje, but it's looking like Islam wants to fight Gaethje. So I think the plan is Sterling is going to move up from 135 to 145, and then I think Holloway's going to fight Aljo. Is I think what the plan is. So that could be 300, not the main event, but maybe Diaz versus McGregor 3. That is still unfinished business right there. It is, but Michael Chandler said that when him and Connor did the Ultimate Fighter, they essentially had to sign a contract that said we are gonna fight each other after this is done. You know, the UFC didn't want to put all that work in just for Connor to be like, "Oh, I want to fight this guy instead." So I don't think McGregor's allowed to come back against anyone but Chandler. Do you have any tattoos, my guy? I do. I have quite a lot of tattoos, bro. I have a tattoo on my face right there. I have a little love heart, a little sailor tattoo. I have tattoos on my hands. I have tattoos on my arms, my legs. I have a tattoo here. Yeah, I got a bunch. Um, yeah, got tats everywhere, bro. Got a, I've got a pair of boxing gloves on my arm that I got when I was like 16. So that's like the only fighting related tattoo I have, I think. Those pair of boxing gloves. And then yeah, that is the only fight tattoo I have, I think. Yeah. Form of kung fu. When you see Tony Ferguson using the wooden dummy, that's Wing Chun. It has bad reputation because it's a traditional martial art, but there's dudes who plug it into sparring. It's fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's plenty of there's plenty of those traditional martial arts that you know people can pull from not only technically but mentally as well. There's a lot of cool stuff you can pull from those traditional martial arts. You know, the Dan Hardy's book, for example, he went to I can't remember which country he went to, but he went to like one of the traditional martial arts school. You're my guy. Got work tomorrow, so good night. But keep up the great work, my guy. Huge respect, and thank you, bro. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it, and have a good day at work tomorrow, man. Try to wake up in a good mood. My dad knew a guy who literally had fuck tattooed on his forehead. It reminds me there's a TV show in England or in Britain called Gavin and Stacey, right? And there's this guy called Craig, and he's got Craig tattooed on his chin. And the guy's like, "Oh, just go in there and wait for me with Craig." And he's like, "How am I gonna know which one's Craig?" And he's like, he's got Craig tattooed on his chin. And the guy's like, "Yeah, yeah, funny joke." And he gets to the pub, and the fucking guy's actually got his name tattooed on his chin, bro. So fair play to the guy that your dad knew who had fuck on his forehead. That's some crazy shit. I don't have anything that drastic. I have an AK-47 on my arm, which got that was my first ever tattoo I ever got. And I used to work with children, and I had a lot of complaints by parents about that one. That's probably the most offensive tattoo I have. A lot of people get weird about my face tat. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that have a complete wrong perception of me, you know, just because I have a tattoo on my face. I guess it's like heavily associated with like fucking drug addict SoundCloud rappers, which I guess I kind of am, you know what I mean? But I'm a nice guy, man. You know, nobody has to be put off or intimidated or whatever by face tattoos. I have Wu Tang logo tattooed, and when I was teaching, I got weird looks. That's fire, bro. That's fire. Respect the Wu Tang logo. And you used to teach? Used to teach little kids like grade school or that AK tattoo is badass. How old were you when you got it? I was 16. So I was still in school basically, bro. But I got kicked out of school. It's like a whole thing. I wasn't in school. I lived in Spain for 4 years. Bro, there's some crazy shit that happened, you know, that Like, obviously, this channel is about MMA, but I've got some stories that actually would be like kind of cool to tell sometimes. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got it when I was 16. Um, Lied about my age. You speak Spanish? I don't speak it very well anymore at all. I remember very few words, but I understand it still okay. Like when I go to Spain on holiday, I can sort of get by. Like when a taxi driver is saying like, "Where would you like to go?" I know what he's saying. You know what I mean? So I speak very, 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 very little Spanish, but I can read and understand more Spanish. And I say I lived in Spain. I didn't live in Spain. I lived on the Canary Islands, but they speak Spanish on the Canary Islands. I don't know what the grades are over there, but I taught kindergarten. Kindergarten is it kindergarten? I always thought it was kindergarten, bro. I'm fucking retarded. I taught kindergarten through sixth grade, which is like 6 to 12-year-olds. I also worked in special ed for years. The grades over here are pretty much the same. Kindergarten or garten, I guess. It's just the how Americans say it. Kindergarten, you know what I mean? 6 to 12-year-olds, yeah, yeah. Same shit. Year six, we call it. Instead of sixth grade, we call it year six, which is would be like 12 years old. Um, Yeah, I also worked in special ed. My girlfriend works with special ed kids as well. So I know how lovely, but also how um, heartbreaking that can be. She also works with a lot of abused children, stuff like that. So that American accent was on point. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I got somebody fucking asking me to do some sort of impression the other week, and I was just like, bro, that's all MMA YouTubers get these days. Impression of Colby fucking asking Jorge when he can fucking play Fortnite because he's been on the game all day. And it's like, what the fuck? I always get confused when y'all talk about college versus uni. Yeah, I'm at uni right now. It's just college, essentially. It's the same shit. So in America, you stay in school until you're 18, and then you go to college where in the UK we stay in school until we're 16. We then go to college for 2 years, and then when we're 18, we go to university. So college and uni are the same thing, but we have a separate thing called college, which is essentially just the 2 years post high school. So like 16, 17. Bedtime's impressions are on point though. Yeah, they are. They are. So Guru's impressions. I'm gonna bounce, bro. I've been on stream since 7. It's 8:22. This is the first time I've come on one of your streams. Won't be my last. Keep up the videos, my guy. Have a great night. Thank you so much, bro. I really, really appreciate you being here, man. And if you're going to bed, whatever you're doing with the rest of your evening, enjoy yourself too, bro. And I'll catch you next time. Thank you for being here. Impression of Tito Ortiz fighting his shadow. Fuck. Oh, bro, do you know these new fans don't understand how cool Tito Ortiz used to be as well. He used to be the boy, bro, and then he just lost everything. Now he's literally just a meme. I can't believe when he threw 3 left hooks at Anderson Silva like this. You know what I'm saying? The same shit. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was almost certain that it was fixed. I wasn't gonna hear nothing else. But now I don't really think it was fixed. I think Tito's just lost his fucking head. But he used to be the boy, bro. He used to be one of the best fighters on the planet. Can you believe that? Tito was so fucking annoying. I don't even think he's annoying. I think he's just stupid. Do you know that Tito used to be in politics? He was like a senator or something. Fuck knows, bro. He used to be some sort of governor, some fucking sort of something. Somehow. I don't know. But yeah. Shout out Tito, bro. It's sad that everyone hates him these days. People are disrespectful as fuck to some of the older fighters, yeah, but at the same time, Tito is like fucking, you know what I'm saying? He said some crazy shit. Chuck knocked the sense out of him, bro. Is that the real bedtime? I don't even know how to check. Bedtime, if that's actually you, bro. Appreciate you being here. Chuck did knock the sense out of him, but I guess Tito fucking got get back in that very sad Golden Boy fucking promotions or whatever it was. At least when I'm around, a lot of people are making more money in trade schools in the college route, especially with paid apprenticeship at a young age. Yeah, trade school. I kind of wish I did some shit like that. Like I remember when I was 16, had some homies getting paid like £3 a fucking day and shit, and I'd be like, "Bro, what the fuck are you doing this apprenticeship stuff? Like, we need to buy the new GTA 5, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be doing this. Get a real job." And they'd be like, "No, bro, the apprenticeship's where it's at." And now all them lot are probably on like 30 grand a year. And I'm here talking about Tito Ortiz at 3 in the morning smoking a joint. So maybe I should have gone with that apprenticeship. But definitely, if you're of age, I made that sound weird as fuck. If you're around that age, 16, whatever, even if you're older, bro, go do an apprenticeship. If you live with your mum and she can kind of support you a little bit, go do the apprenticeship, bro. Nothing wrong with it. Um, Apprenticeship at a young age. My friends didn't even understand when I said Frank Shamrock was one of my favorites to ever do it. It's funny because I didn't know Frank Shamrock. Frank Shamrock, like, I used to always get confused between Ken and Frank, and then I always used to get confused. Like, I used to think that Ken Shamrock, the wrestler, and like, I used to think there were like four different people, bro. It used to confuse the fuck out of me when I was a kid. BJ Penn is into politics now too. Yeah, I know. BJ Penn put some shit on his Instagram the other day that was like, have you noticed that in every bottle of water, if you shake it in a certain position and you tilt it to the light in a certain degree, you can see the face of Jesus Christ? And I was like, bro, he didn't actually say that, but he posted some crazy conspiracy. Like, I'm scared for BJ, bro. Tito's a prick. I like Tito, man. I thought Tito was the boy when I was a kid and I bought like UFC Tap Out, whatever it fucking was. And I was looking at the case and it had Tito on there with his flame shorts. I thought he was like the coolest guy in the fucking world, bro. I can't lie. So it's hard for me, you know what I mean? Tito was the boy, bro. I thought he was like the alpha male, and now he's like, he can't even speak. He can't even talk, bro. Go wish in the chat. Why we wish? Shout out wish in the chat, bro. That's mad. Don't know why you're here, Wish. Don't know why you're awake. Don't know how you find yourself here, but appreciate you being there, bro. Frank Shamrock gives me that same vibe as DJ on Nunes, where he never said no to an opponent and had versatility. Yeah, I agree. Do I think both of the Shamrock brothers get mollywop these days? I do, but ultimately, it's the same for a lot of those old fighters, right? Mark Coleman, Mark Coleman. I mean, you look at these guys' records, and it does make you kind of look at like Habib and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at Frank Shamrock's a good example. Randy Couture, Mark Coleman, a lot of these older guys, you look at their record, whether it's win or loss, every single name for their whole career, the killers, bro. Win or loss. Most of the time losses. You know what I mean? I think I think Coleman might have got Big Nog, Crocop, and Fedor all three in a row. Like had to fight all three of them in a row. Kevin Randleman as well. There was some killers back then, bro. I don't think people hate Tito. He's just so goddamn stupid. Yeah. No, I know. Um, I like Tito, bro. He is completely lost his mind, but he's he's an OG, man. He's an OG. He deserves a bit more credit. I'm here because I'm an MMA guy and I love this left hook flower. I mean, Harry guy. Yeah, yeah. I've plugged the music a few times. Mark Coleman versus CM Punk for 300 super fight. Bro, did anyone see when Fedor beat Mark Coleman's ass and he brought his daughters to the fight and his daughters were crying in the crowd? So Mark Coleman thought the best idea was to bring them into the ring while they were still crying and weeping on him. Showed each shoulder like two fucking championship belts, bro. Mark Coleman's weeping children. And he goes, Daddy's fine. Look at Fedor. He's a nice guy. And he's like, takes him over to Fedor, and Fedor stood there like, you know what I'm saying? Just like doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on. Like, brother, please get your children away. And then Mark Coleman starts like punching Fedor, like giving him a little tap, and then like going like, "Wait" to the crowd, and then giving him another tap and being like, "Wait." Oh, it's the most awkward shit ever, bro. 4 different people. It's like that when you're little. I used to think the Fear Factor guy was the UFC commentator. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the Fear Factor guy is the UFC commentator. I don't know if you're trolling or that one's might have gone over my head. I think I saw that too. Fedor has some type of influence in Russia as well. Did I miss that? He went into politics in the Netherlands, seen it on the news. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of those MMA fighters seem to go into politics for some reason. Yeah, I agree. All of the Pride to UFC guys have some of the craziest resumes we'll ever see. And do you know what's even sadder? Most of the Pride to UFC guys were shot by the time they got to the UFC because they've been fighting since the 90s, bro. You know, people like Big Nog, when he signed to the UFC, Krokop and Big Nog, two examples, when they signed to the UFC, they'd been fighting for like 2 decades. You know what I mean? They'd already, their prime has been and gone, and they still picked up some wins. Shout out Krokop submitting Pat Barry. That was a nice one. I heard Randleman used to answer fan calls all the time, writing back letters to fans. Randleman was awesome. He was, bro. Rest in peace, Kevin Randleman, man. That fucking Napoleon blown apart Pride Never Die video, which I keep plugging every single stream. I want all of you to watch that, please. I promise you you'll enjoy it. That Pride Never Die video, there's a section about Kevin Randleman, and it will fucking make a grown man cry, bro. Very, very, very sad. He was an amazing guy, I heard. But yeah, it's a shame, man. All the pride to UFC guys were done by the time they got there, you know. Um, so it's hard. It's hard hearing people say shit like that, but like it's hard hearing people say like, I mean, people say it about um fucking Overeem as well, and this is a whole other thing, right? Overeem, people always like to say Overeem's one of the best because look what he did to like Badr Hari and kickboxing. It's like no, 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 bro. These are two different sports. Overeem got knocked out like 15 times in MMA or like 7 times in the UFC or some shit. You can't ignore losses. You can't. You can't ignore losses just like you can't ignore Jose Aldo losing to every single champion. You know what I mean? Like I love Jose Aldo, but he has lost to every other featherweight champion. It doesn't necessarily make me not um it doesn't necessarily mean that he can't be in talks for greatest featherweight of all time because of the work he did, but I think that knocks him out of talks for one of the greatest fighters of all time. People like the Weasel loves to say, I don't include John Jones in my GOAT list because I don't include PEDs, and that excludes Silver as well. So his GOAT list is like GSP, Jose Aldo, DJ, or like GSP, DJ, Jose Aldo. You can't put Jose Aldo in the top 3 best MMA fighters the sport's ever seen, bro. He's lost to like a lot of people. You know what I mean? You can't ignore losses. You, it doesn't. It doesn't wipe away. You know, I don't know. No, I'm joking, but I did used to think Joe Rogan and the Green Power Ranger were the same people. I don't know why. I found out later on they wanted to fight each other. I don't. You know what? I never used to watch Power Rangers, bro. GSP's on stuff too. He just takes the stuff you won't pop for. Again, as I was talking earlier, man, you think for us, Sahabi doesn't know how to pass a fucking USADA test? You know what I mean? You think for us, Sahabi doesn't have access to the best and most discreet fucking juice in the world? Hendo is one of the Pride fighters that had a good streak in the UFC. He was on TRT, but so was Krokop. Probably, maybe I'm confusing the TRT era. No. Hendo was on TRT, but he was actually, well, so he says. I don't know if this is true, but he was actually prescribed it by the doctor because he had low test. Um, so it kind of fucked him when they made it illegal. Krokop, yeah, Krokop was probably on juice. They were all probably juiced up, bro. You're fighting the best fighters in the world, especially in Pride. All of those guys were on fucking everything. I love him, but that's the reality of the situation. GSP, yeah, I know. John Jones can't be MMA's example as GOAT. Why would you say that? Because of the steroids? I have a buddy who used to train at Jackson Wink. They're not dumb. They're not dumb, bro. They're not dumb. Shout out Jackson Wink, but also don't not shout out, because they fucked Cerrone over, but then they cut Jones off for beating his wife, which I respect so much. I respect so much. That's their best. That's the best fighter in the world right there. That's the guy that can bring unlimited belts to the gym. That's the guy that you can plaster his face all over the fucking gym. You know what I'm saying? And they stood their ground, whether it was because they don't want to get cancelled or whatever. I don't know what the reasoning was. But shout out to Jackson Wink, Greg Jackson specifically for saying, "John, I love you, but I'm not training you anymore." You know what I mean? You've fucked it. So I respect Greg Jackson very highly for that. But they also fucked Donald Cerrone over because when Cerrone fought Mike Perry, they chose to train Perry over Cerrone, and Cerrone had to switch gyms, and that's how the wrench got started. Cerrone had his own gym, so it all worked out well. Because he beats his wife and can barely drive a car properly. Yeah, it's fucking Jones beating his wife, and how little everybody seems to care about it is pretty fucking crazy, man. Can you imagine if Conor McGregor beat Dee's ass so bad that she was fucking bleeding when she was talking to the police? Blood was running down her fucking lip or whatever. Like her clothes had bits of blood on the quilt. The bed covers had bits of blood on. Fuck, man, some brutal shit, bro. And everyone's just like forgot about it. Jones would be pretty good even without his attributes, but probably not the best if he always fought people his size constantly. I mean, it isn't just his attributes. I agree. I agree that, which is why I would pick Tom against Jones because he has no attributes on Tom. But it isn't just his attributes, in my opinion. He was doing things that they didn't even have a name for. He would throw a technique out, and Joe Rogan would have to make something up on the fucking spot of what he just seen. And people still throw those techniques today. Jones's single leg fake into spinning elbow is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my fucking life. Is Volk's chance at GOAT status ruined at this point? He's without a doubt my favorite active fighter, but I don't know what his legacy is gonna look like. Yeah, I think it's ruined. I think it's ruined. I don't think he can ever call himself GOAT. GOAT, in my opinion, to be GOAT. I did a whole video on it. It got about fucking 12 views. But in my opinion, to be GOAT, he needed to beat Islam again in a trilogy, and then maybe defend the lightweight belt once or twice. And I wouldn't have mind saying that he was up there. You know what I mean? Jones doesn't really have much attributes. It's his size that lets him do what he wants. When I say attributes, I do mean like size, reach. I mean numbers. You know what I'm saying? Stats. But again, as I just said, with Wabisca's question, or not his question, but his statement, I think Jones is a lot more than just a big reach. You know what I mean? I think he does a lot of cool shit. He switches to southpaw. He has certain strikes he'll throw out of southpaw, certain strikes he'll throw out of orthodox. Throw stuff no one's ever seen. I love watching Jones fight. Can't lie. What's your top five GOAT list? Probably go John Jones, GSP, Anderson Silva, um, hmm, DJ. Pretty generic list, to be honest. And then number five is where it's kind of like debatable, right? You can switch some people in and out. Um, I would probably put who the fuck would I put as my number five? Probably I don't know, bro. I actually don't know who I'd put in number five. Um, Probably maybe Volk, to be honest. I don't know. It's hard to say because he just got KO'd, but I wouldn't say Habib just because of his padded record. You know, the reason people hold Habib so highly is because of that record, but that record is padded, very padded. GSP was the least interesting GOAT to watch, in my opinion. Um, I used to, in just like basically when GSP had his first run, like when he had like 2008, like basically when I first got into watching the sport, GSP had basically just lost his belt to Matt Serra, right? So my first introduction to GSP was almost like he just lost, he's fighting a contender. If he wins this, he gets his rematch. So I watched GSP win his belt back from Matt Serra. So like how do I explain this? My opinion of GSP, well, I didn't realize that GSP was as good as he was. You know what I mean? So when people used to say GSP was one of the best fighters in the world, I'd be like, he's only just won the belt. Like I was a dumb kid, you know. I was like 11 years old, 12 years old, so I didn't actually appreciate GSP until about two, three fights before he fucking retired. Maybe the first BJ Penn. No, I don't know. Long story short is what I'm saying is I used to watch heavyweight, light heavyweight, and I used to think everybody else was shit. You know what I mean? When I was a fucking kid, you'd never catch me watching WEC fights when I was a kid until Showtime, fucking Showtime kicked Benny from the off the cage. That got me paying attention to WEC, Strike Force, these organizations. But when I first got into MMA, I was just watching what my uncle was watching, and what he would watch was a lot of Ultimate Fighter. So DC has a great argument for number five, but as a vote Dick Rider, I won't argue. I don't think DC has a great argument for number five. Well, yeah, I guess he does, right? He lost twice against Stipe. He lost twice against Jones. Um, you know, again, I don't think you can ignore losses. Um, Probably wouldn't put him at number five. And again, just to go back to what I said, he never really won the belt at light heavyweight. He's kind of like not the Robert Whitaker because Rob Whitaker did win a belt, but he's kind of like the Colby Covington. But the difference between Colby, Usman, and DC and Jones is Jones got stripped. Imagine Usman popped and got stripped. Colby would have been champ, and he probably would have held it, but he couldn't beat the champion. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what it boils down to with DC for me. He's a legit heavyweight champ because he actually legit KO'd Stipe and had a great heavyweight run in Strike Force before he got there, won the Grand Prix and stuff like that. Did fight a lot of fucking bums, but um, I wouldn't put DC as five just because he never really won that light heavyweight belt. Or he did, but he's basically a glorified interim champion. I'm not even saying it to talk shit. You know what I mean? I don't think DC would beat John Jones 10 times out of 10. I think he was just too. He was just too body mid set. I don't know. I can't explain it. Too soft. You know what I mean? Jones is too vicious with his shit. DC's too the mummy god, hand fighting, clinch, dirty boxing. He's too going through the motions. You know what I mean? Jones is adapting on the fly 24/7. I don't think DC would ever get it. Who do you think could retain more title defenses, Colby or Leon? Well, if Leon beats Colby, that's two title defenses. Maybe if he fights Bilal again, I see him beating Bilal Muhammad. Um, and then maybe they give Shavkat a shot. So and Shavkat could get him. So maybe 4 defenses for Leon or 3 defenses for Leon, losing on the fourth. Where if Colby beats Leon and then he fights, I don't know what they're gonna do with Colby. That's the issue, because they might actually try and do the Islam Colby fight. So if Islam moves up and tries to fight Colby for the welterweight belt and Colby beats Islam, you know, he's not the lineal champ. I get what you're saying. Yeah, he didn't beat the champion. The champion got stripped and the champion got arrested and every fucking other thing that Jones did. Islam beat Volk twice. If Islam beats Gaethje and Oliveira next, he definitely has a claim to be number 5 spot. I'd put Islam above Habib now, to be honest. I think Islam beating Volk and Oliveira is better than Habib beating Poirier, Gaethje, and McGregor. Personally, like Poirier, McGregor, and Gaethje are tailor made for Habib. They're in a way one dimensional. Um, Volk is not one dimensional, and Oliveira is the fucking polar opposite to one dimensional. Um, and Islam dropped and subbed Oliveira and then beat Volk in a very close fight, adjusted, and then KO'd him in the second fight. I'd put Islam above Habib. You didn't pay attention to WEC and Strikeforce, but did you watch Pride? I didn't watch Pride live because I was like 3 fucking years old. But when I was like a teenager, like when I started getting more into the sport, I would always play Undisputed 3 and I would play the Pride mode on that game. So then I would go on Fight Pass and watch the old Pride cards. And then I started watching like documentaries on Pride. And then I would watch like the whole Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix. So I look back at Pride through very rose tinted goggles, or glasses. I don't know what the expression is, but I'm very aware of that Pride maybe didn't have the best fighters, but Pride, in my opinion, is the best MMA's ever been. The crowds, seeing people cry, you know, seeing Shogun Hua and Big Nog win, and seeing the fans in the crowd crying and hugging each other, like the kind of shit you see at like a football game or a basketball game when somebody scores a buzzer beater, right? And all the fans, they don't even know each other. Some of them, they're strangers and they're hugging each other. They're so happy and they're like, it was like a real community sport thing. And that's why I love Pride, because that was when fighters got that was when people cared about fighters the most. And like going back to my point about Guru, how people speak about fighters now, how people love talking shit on fighters and saying this guy's a pussy, this guy's trash. Even women's MMA, I'm aware that women's MMA is pretty garbage, right, for the most part. But to just be saying like, oh yeah, fucking Juliana Pena's trash. Like people are so confident to call these fighters pussies and bitches and this and that, bro. You will never hear that from me. I know I might joke and put Mike Jackson as my fucking bottom tier in my tier list videos. You'll never hear me disrespecting a fighter like that. I've got too much respect, too much love for this sport, too much love for the where the sport comes from, which is Bushido shit, which is samurai shit, which is who is the baddest man in this fucking room. Let's find out now. You know, I just love the sport too much to disrespect any of the fighters on a personal level or anything like that. Undisputed Pride mode is the best thing we'll see in MMA gaming. Yeah, 100%. Undisputed 3 as a whole, as a game, is the best thing we'll ever see in gaming, unfortunately, the walkouts in Pride were insane as well. The walkouts were amazing. The commentary was amazing. Stephen Quadros and Boss Rutan. Boss Rutan is the best color commentator that's ever graced the sport of MMA. There's nobody even close. The knowledge that this guy would throw out on commentary of fights, you could go and watch the Pride Heavyweight Grand Prix and pick up and get a pen and paper. And every time Bas Rutten drops some fucking crazy fight knowledge, just write it down. I remember he said once in a Pride fight, he said He's picking his shots. He's picking his shots. I prefer the style of throw everything hard, right? You throw a hard shot, the opponent has to defend it, something else will always open up. And I remember when he said that, I was like, that is literally how Boss Rutan fights. You know what I mean? Throw everything hard. Throw a fucking punch to somebody's mouth hard enough, they'll have to bring their hands up to defend it. Throw the liver kick straight underneath it. Like Boss Rutan was very bare bones. He drops a lot of cool tidbits like that. Isaiah, you're talking about somebody. I'm sure you're a big Boss Rutan fan. Um, One FC almost has the showmanship of pride, but the sportsmanship of the UFC. Yeah, One FC, um, they do, but it's just not the same. I prefer watching One FC's 4 ounce Muay Thai fights over the MMA fights personally. Like the MMA fights in One FC tend to be pretty boring. I don't know why. Damn, this fight pass the only way to watch those fights. I've never seen them full. No, no, no. You can find them on YouTube. I think UFC have actually uploaded Pride One, the whole event of Pride One, and the story of how Pride came about is a crazy cool story, man. Takada, he was like a pro wrestler and basically he had beef with the Gracies. You should just go and watch it. I don't want to bore everyone, but basically, Pride was born because a pro wrestler was like, "I'd beat these guys. I'd beat these jujitsu guys." The jujitsu guys was like, "Listen, bro, you're pro wrestling. You're not even real fighting. You don't want the smoke." Takada was like, "Well, let's put it together. Let's find out. Let's find out." And he got absolutely fucking smoked. But yeah, Pride One's on YouTube. Um, But really, you want to be watching Crow Cop, you want to be watching Big Nog, you want to be watching Shogun, Fedor, Kevin Randleman, even some like Heath Herring bangers, bro. So many of those Pride fighters, Gomi's fights, Rampage Jackson, Vanderlei Silva, amazing, amazing era of this sport, man. Bass is great on Karate Combat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not surprised you said that. I watch old Bass fights from Pancreas on YouTube. Yeah, man. Pancreas is that was like Pride is like when I meet somebody that is into Pancreas and like knows what they're talking about, I'm like, yeah, you got my respect. You know what I mean? Sakuraba is my favorite Pride fight ever. Yeah, favorite Pride fighter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sakuraba's again from that from that same camp that Takada was from. Pro wrestlers. Sakuraba basically got get back for Takada and smoked the Gracies, bro. Gracie Hunter, yeah, for real. Shout out Kazushi Sakuraba. And do you know a little fun fact about Paddy Pimblett is when he was in Cage Warriors, he actually used to wear Sakuraba's orange shorts. And I always used to love that so much. Then obviously he moved to the UFC and now he just wears red UFC shorts. But yeah, Paddy Pimblett's Cage Warriors run, he wore the Kazushi Sakuraba, the exact shorts. Must have got a replica or some shit. And he used to fucking fly and triangle people in Cage Warriors with the Sakuraba shorts on. So people hate Paddy Pimblett, bro, but he's a student of the game. You know, his favorite fight is Lil Nog. You know, isn't it crazy, right? That if you came in when McGregor, are you familiar with Undisputed Forever, bro? They're all like my very, very, very good friends. All of the guys working on that, I've been in that Undisputed server since we were using CAFs, bro. I'm very, very good friends with all of those guys. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Undisputed Forever. They're doing amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I actually helped choose the name, believe it or not, because there was a bunch of different fucking names floating around. Um, and yeah, I was like, I think Undisputed Forever. And then Vet was like, I was thinking Undisputed Forever, but I didn't know for sure. And I was like, yeah, go with that. He was like, is everyone happy with that? And everyone was like, yeah. So yeah, I'm familiar with it, man. Shout out all of those guys. The UFC Vet, Randy, fucking SB, all the King Hyde, all the guys making the models, all the guys making the shader packs and stuff like that. They're really, really breathing life into Undisputed 3, man. It's amazing to see. But yeah, Vet, UFC Vet, the guy that kind of runs Undisputed Forever. I've known that guy for like 10 years. You know, we used to play comp UFC 2. We used to play in a league, in like an esports type league together. And he had Bisping and I had Gastelum and he had the belt and I fought him for the belt and lost. And then I was like, did we just become best friends? You know what I mean? But yeah, very familiar with Undisputed Forever. Shout out to all of those guys, man. I'm actually in the fucking server as well. So if you're in there, I'm in there with you. That's awesome. I'm planning on jailbreaking my PS3 for it. Just make sure it's the right model. You don't want to fuck your shit up. Make sure it's 2100, I think it is, because I think some of the 3000 models don't do it. I don't know. I haven't jailbroken my PS3 personally. I was trying to, I was, playing it through our PCS3 and stuff. So I don't want to speak too much. But I would check that your PS3 is compatible with it. But if you just ask somebody in the server, they'll tell you. I think it's most PS3 Slims are compatible. But yeah, fucking pretty successful stream. Thank you everyone for fucking being here. I'm not going just yet. I'm just saying. I almost didn't hop on because I was like, there's no card on, you know what I mean? Nobody's gonna join. But shout out you, man. Shout out bedtime as well. Bedtime pulled up briefly. I'm pretty sure that was the real bedtime, so I think I might try and do these like every day for a little bit. Oh, I missed Cameron's fucking Cameron. Are you still in there? Sorry if you are, bro. I completely missed your messages. Off to bed. I've got work in the morning. Nice talking, man. I've been a fan for some time now. Thank you very much, bro. And I hope I see you again in one of these. Thank you for coming in and good luck with training whenever you're back in the gym. Stay safe. Keep your hands up. Yeah, I'm probably not far off getting out of it myself, to be honest, boys. What time is it? Yeah, it's 5 a.m. What the fuck? How the fuck is it 5 a.m., bro? What the fuck? How the fuck is it 5 a.m.? Bro, I literally went to work, got home, had to build a fucking bookcase and a chair, and it was game over. Right, Cameron, you are still here. My peers started treating me differently after I started kickboxing, eventually trying to pick fights. People feel differently about fighters in general. Yeah, I used to get that as well in school because I boxed in school. Not even serious. I boxed for like a year. And like, because everybody, I remember I had this older guy like kind of picking on me in school, right? I was like 12, 13 when I was boxing. Um, and I remember one of my friends came to me and was like, his name was Sam, the older guy that was trying to fucking beef me and whatever. And he was punching the lockers at school and he was like, boom, 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 like punching the lockers hard. And apparently he was saying to my homies, like, tell your boy Harry, this is what I'm going to do to him. He thinks he's a boxer. He thinks he's a boxer. I'll show him who's a boxer. Keep in mind, bro, I'm like 12 and this guy's like 15. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? And that was literally just because I was going boxing. And my mum put a fucking picture of me on Facebook in my headgear and my fucking blue Adidas Army gloves and was like, oh, look at my boy. And this fucking guy at school was like, what, you think you're a boxer? I'll show you as a boxer. I'm like, bro, I'm 12. please leave me alone. I'd have smoked his ass as well, you know. He was about this fucking big, bro. I was just terrified because he was short. My mum was saying to me like, he's short. Like, don't be scared of him. You're bigger than him. And I was just like, yeah, but he's 15. Like, you know, when you're a kid, age is just fucking everything. Midnight. Where you from, Cam? Yo, tips on finding a girlfriend. Are you for real? Are you being actually serious? Because I will actually give you a serious answer, or are you just trolling? I think finding a girlfriend these days that isn't like finding a girlfriend that isn't gonna fucking cheat on you or fucking randomly ghost you one day, like it's very hard. Serious, just moved to a new area. My advice, bro, would be niches. Everything is in the niche. You know what I'm saying? Like us guys, me, you, Cameron, everyone in this chat, we're only talking and interacting in life, right? None of us would have ever even spoken to each other, but MMA is the reason we're speaking to each other. You have to find niches like that. Like for me, I know this sounds like very degenerate kind of way of saying it, but I have weed. Me and my girlfriend smokes weed. Like she smoked weed before I met her. So, funnily enough, how I got with my girlfriend is I shared a meme on Facebook, um, like a weed meme, and I guess she like slid into my fucking DMs for that. So everything's in the niches, bro. What do you do? Do you like golf? Like, do you go to the gym? Um, do you like cooking? You know, are you studying somewhere? Like, don't just go on Tinder and this kind of shit, in my opinion, anyway. Obviously, bro, I'm a fucking chubby stoner making fucking MMA videos on the internet, right? So you can't. I'm not a dating wizard, but I like to think that I'm a good judge of character in people in general. And I think that is very important. You have to be a good judge of character. You want to find somebody where you don't have to, you know, when people always say, my fucking when my girl goes out to the club, like I know for a fact, and this might make me extremely naive, right? And I'm sure some people have felt like this and they've been wrong, but I know for a fact my girlfriend would not cheat on me. Like would like to think that I know that, like I know her well enough to not even have to worry about that. So if you unless you're like a 16-year-old kid full of fucking hormones, if you're genuinely worried, and active worry is your girlfriend cheating on you, bro, you're probably not with the right girl. And another thing somebody told me when I was younger as well is, let's say your girl's at a party, right? And you're really nervous because you're thinking all these guys are going to be trying it on with her, and she's telling you like, don't be silly, there's nothing to worry about, I'll tell them to fuck off anyway. And you're just like, you can't relax. This puts it very simply, right? If the type of person that she is the type of person to cheat on somebody, right? If she has that in her heart, it does not matter how many times you text her, does not matter how many times you ring her that night, does not matter how many times you say, please don't cheat on me, like, please don't talk to anyone. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna do it or she's not gonna do it. My girlfriend could go to the club, right? And I could put my phone in on charge and talk to you lot and smoke a joint and not even think about it. Obviously, you know, she's at the club, so I'm a little bit like, you know, I hope she's okay. I hope, you know, whatever. But my ex, bro, all I was constantly worried about getting cheated on. And I realized now in hindsight, it's because I wasn't a good judge of character. So I think it all comes down to two things: niches, so you can meet somebody that actually has the same interests as you. If you want a gym rat, if you want an in shape girlfriend that cares about herself and showers every day and does a skincare routine and looks really pretty and smells really nice, you have to be that, bro. You can't be a Discord goblin looking for a 10 out of 10 fucking, you know what I'm saying? You, you are what, you know, you have to. I don't know how to explain it. Obviously, a bit weird giving dating advice on the fucking MMA stream, but genuinely, I think it all comes down to niches. To meet somebody, you know, if you're at the gym, maybe try and talk to somebody at the gym. There's this thing called cold approaching, which I would rather kill myself than ever do, but some people really say it works. Cold approach is basically you go straight up to a girl that you think's attractive and you basically just try and get her number or her Instagram or whatever, right? You just straight up say, "Hey, I think you're really attractive. Can I get your Instagram, or like do you have a boyfriend?" And that essentially conditions you for rejection, right? So these guys that date a lot, that do all these dating videos, these dating advices, that's often what they will say. Do some cold approaching. You would be very surprised. No matter what you think, if you think you're an ugly guy, if you think you're an attractive guy, if you think whatever, they say that apparently cold approaching is a very good way of doing that. But I would stay away from that because that's just asking for fucking mental health issues, bro. Because if I went, imagine going up to a girl and you see her from across the fucking mall, and you're like, and you just let me just read one more time what I'm supposed to do. You're reading this cold approach thing. You smoke a cigarette, you're putting it, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna go over to her, fuck it, you only live once, what's the worst she can say? You walk over and you go, hi, like, and she just turns around and goes, what the fuck? Get the fuck away from me, bro. You know what I mean? I would genuinely fucking swanton bomb off of the nearest high obstacle, bro. So don't cold approach, is what I'm saying. Especially these days. If you get too close to a girl on the street these days, she might throw an allegation your way. But um niches, bro. Find a niche and then try and be a good judge of character. I think if your mum met this girl, would she pull you in the kitchen after half an hour and go like, she's a bit, I don't like her, you know what I mean? And also, people say that opposites attract, and maybe they do, but I think you should also try and find almost like the female slash male version of you. You know what I mean? Somebody that thinks the same. You don't want to be fucking arguing all the time, you know. But also, that is healthy, right? They say. Anyway, that was a rant, but dating in 2023 is absolutely fried. I would say I know a lot of people that cringe at this looks maxing stuff, right? That the younger generation like. I'm not on TikTok at all. I probably should be. I am on TikTok. Left Hook Harry on TikTok. I just post clips of fights, like little techniques that I like. Like I don't post anything with me in it. But my point is, I know a lot of the older generation, right? Like myself, people in their 20s will look down at this TikTok generation that look up to Andrew Tate, that are in the gym all the time and posting selfies, that are looks maxing, right? Anybody that don't know what looks maxing is, it's basically like taking yourself from like a 4 to a 10, like looking after yourself, Patrick Bateman shit, you know what I mean? Like skincare routine, fucking hair routine, everything has to, smell good. Like, but bro, why is that's a fucking good thing. And one thing that I will say, I'm not an Andrew Tate fan, right? Just said no, we'll be back if he's still alive. No problem, bro. Have a good day. Have a good day either way. I'll probably be going bed soon because it's 5 a.m. My girlfriend's got to get up for work in like 2 hours. And if I'm still awake, you don't want to know. Edge maxing. Yeah, bro. The edging is a different fucking thing, Cameron, right? But um the looks maxing thing, I like. I like that everybody's obsessed with the Trend Twins and Sam Sulek. Like when I was in school, nobody gave a fuck about the gym. You know what I mean? Going to the gym was kind of like, "Bro, you're boring. Like you're going to the gym. Like why don't you come do fucking MCAT with me and my friends on Narborough Park?" And I'd be like, okay. Um, but yeah, nobody cared about the gym 5 years ago. Like only just real gym goers, you know what I'm saying? And the real fitness people that naturally care about it. But now it's almost like a trend. But there's worse trends to be trending, bro. You know what I mean? I don't mind. I do not mind this whole um Sigma looks maxing, fucking Chad, Giga Chad, like trying to look like Backy, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's worse things to be into than Andrew Tate and Sam Sulek. You know what I mean? And as I've said for the 4 millionth time, and I will always apologize before saying it because it just sounds like a shameless plug, but it isn't. It's just me tying what I'm saying into what I'm saying. But I make music, right? And one of the things from making music, like seeing people 2 years ago who were listening to my music and would like DM me and stuff like that, versus seeing them now, some of the people that have clearly got into this trend, it's just it's crazy. Music has a big part of that, you know. Like I know TikTok's cringy, but all the funk stuff, all the I know it's all just pushing towards a trend, but there has been worse trends. There's been worse trends. I can't even remember what I was gonna say. I brought up that I made music to like make a point and then completely forgot. So just started talking about the funk stuff. But there was a point there. What was I saying? But now gym goers are competitive against each other because of the TikTok. People are still nice, but you see the difference. That's a very, very, very good point that I'd never thought of. It is different, right? They are actually competitive and people are like L physique, you know what I mean? That shit. L physique, L chest genetics. So you are right. You are completely right. I'd never thought about it like that. Yeah, you're right. Do you make instrumentals or do you perform? I do vocals. So my friends make the instrumentals, send them to me, and then I do the vocals on them, and then release the song. We release the song together. You know what I mean? But this is my studio, which is why it's always looked like I bought a YouTube studio for when I made my first video, but I didn't. This is just where I make music, so it's always had the LED lights. It's always looked like a nice backdrop for a YouTube video. You know what I mean? Because I like to make the space I make music in like cool. You know what I mean? Atmospheric or whatever. But no, I don't produce. I don't make instrumentals. I wish I did. I have done many times, but they're not good enough. You know what I mean? Who's still in there? Nice. Yo, uh Udin and Wabisco, shout out you two for being in like every stream for real. What's your group name? No, it's just me, bro. Um it's just me. It's Send Flowers. So it's SendFlowrs. So there's no E in flowers. So it's Send Flowrs. So it's Send Flowers, but no E in flowers. I hope I explained that right. Oh, what's up, Che? Yeah, you're in here too. Shout out, you lot. Do you know what? Do you know Sunflowers? Yes, exactly like that, but all one word, no space in the middle. Do you know what? One thing I've realized is I watch a lot of YouTube streams, right? And I don't type in the chat. And that's like an extremely normal thing for me in my head, like just chilling in the stream and not typing in the chat. But you know when you're streaming and like I see that there's 7 people in the chat, but like 2 of them are typing, I'm just like, why? But then I think, oh yeah, of course, because not everybody likes to type in the fucking chat. You know what I mean? You think of like a Moist Critical stream when he's got like thousands of people in there. It's got like 15K fucking people in there or whatever. Probably only like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 of them are typing in the chat, if that. You know what I mean? Like, what does Guru get? Guru streams. How many views do they get? You know what I mean? Versus the people that type in the chat. It's interested me like the stream I did for the card, the first card. Um, Benny and Armin. Um, was that the first card? Yeah, it was Benny and Armin. Yeah, there was like 12 people in the chat, and there was like two people typing, and I just thought, what are those 10 people doing? You know what I mean? Are they just staring at the fucking screen? Guru has broad range. I've seen 1K up to 8K on pay-per-view nights. And that's another thing. I've never really watched Fight Companions. Like how do you watch a Fight Companion? Do you like I'm talking about you guys personally. Do you like mute the TV and then watch somebody stream while you're watching the fights, or do you not watch the fights and you just watch their stream? Like when you would watch an MMA guru stream, for example, how are you watching the fights alongside it? You know what I mean? Fucking, I just keep saying Cameron's message saying Edge Maxing, bro. I can't watch Fight Companions because I'm illegally streaming. I was illegally filming. Um, I can't watch Fight Companions because I'm illegally streaming. Why can't you watch Fight Companions? Because like you can't have two tabs open. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The 1K to 8K on pay per view is crazy though. I remember when he took his beanie off. He had like what 6K people in the chat, which is crazy to be honest. For like an MMA YouTuber, Guru bangs views. He really does. Shout out to all the heavy hitters of the MMA world, man, because I feel like they actually make shit happen in the sport, especially Guru. But yeah, what time is it? Okay, it's 5:18. I'm gonna jump off at 5:30 if that's cool. So not very long, basically. But I've been streaming for 3 hours. I'm gonna stream probably again tomorrow. I'm probably gonna stream every day now, because I enjoy it and it builds the channel, and you know what I mean. It's just fun, bro. I appreciate it. I have the fights on TV and you're live on my phone, but sometimes I would miss something. I'm trash at multitasking. Yeah, it also doesn't help that sometimes people's streams are behind mine, and I say some like, for example, when Jamie Malarkey got finished the other night, there was somebody in here like excited for that fight, and I basically spoiled the fucking fight for him. You know what I mean? So sometimes fight companions can backfire, I guess, if you care at like being in the moment. Like for example, if you was watching a fight companion of Leon Usman 2, and before you saw the KO, the guy on the screen went, "Oh my god, Leon just fucking KO'd him with a head kick." The moment would still be crazy, but it would not hit the same. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to convince everybody to stop watching my fucking fight companions. I'm just saying I personally enjoy watching the sport on my own. But to be honest, I like hosting the fight companions. I like talk. So I guess it's the same shit. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Does it give you guys notifications when I go live? I don't know how a lot of it works. Somebody came into the chat one time and was like, "Bro, you've got a setting on so only subscribers can see that you're live or something." And I was like, "Fuck, I'm handicapping myself." Are you gonna go live this weekend? I will be. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go live tomorrow. I'm probably gonna go live most nights from now on, to be honest, and especially for the pay-per-views. I mean, especially for the cards. I'll probably go live for PFL cards. I'll go live for Jake Paul fights. You know, I really, I really enjoy it. And you lot are cool as fuck, man. I didn't think that. Can you believe, right? 1 month, I know this is not PewDiePie numbers, but in 1 month, I went from 85 subscribers or like 50 subscribers or some shit to almost 700 subscribers. And now I'm a YouTube partner as well because I hit the watch time. Like, I've posted so many videos throughout my life on so many different channels, so many different genres of videos, so many different niches, right? Gaming, fucking everything, vlogs, edits, Modern Warfare 2 trick showing, you name it, I've tried it. And the one channel where I kind of accepted, I don't care if this pops or not. I love MMA and I want to make videos about it. It pops. You know what I'm saying? So don't force it. I believe I believe in things happen for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So just like the weight loss thing. I tried so many years to lose weight, finally managed to lose weight now, but I kind of feel like I was ready for it. Like I have the discipline now to lose weight. I didn't have it before. Is I don't know. The Celestine Prophecy, the book. We were talking about books the other night. I don't know if anybody who's in here now was in there then. But books, I know Wabisco is in there talking about books. The Celestine Prophecy, right? It's basically about this. It's basically 12 rules to live your life by, but it's kind of wrote into like a fictitious story, so it's easier for like readers to digest. But it's essentially 12 things to live your life by. And the first one is, in my opinion, one of the most important ones. And it's there is no such thing as a coincidence, right? So everything that happens to you in your life, positive or positive or negative, no matter what it is, acknowledge it. Don't just ignore it and be like, oh, well, that's weird. Like, if your life is going bad, change something. If your life is going good, like, try and acknowledge what is going good. Let me explain. How do I explain this? Okay, so here's an example of how this fucking book changed my life, right? So I used to have a 3-bedroom house with my girlfriend. Now we don't have any kids. I was paying way too much for this fucking house. It was a really, really nice house, but we didn't need it, right? I read this book, The Celestine Prophecy, and I read this thing about there's no such thing as coincidences. If something keeps happening repeatedly, you have to acknowledge it, act on it. Stop just ignoring things. Everything is happening for a reason. And I was like, yeah, whatever, hippie bullshit, whatever. Great book though. And then I finished the book. It changed my fucking brain. And this house, right? As I said, I was paying too much for it. Then the landlord one day turned up, right? And this garden was huge. So I mowed the lawn like once or twice. But at this point, it was the winter and it had outgrown. So the landlord pulls up and the garden is like, the grass is like this high. It looks like a crackhead's living there, right? But it's just me, right? So he knocks on the door and he says, what the fuck is going on with this garden? And I'm like, oh, I just haven't done it. And he's like, no, no excuses. You get it done, right? So I'm like, fuck's sake. So now I got beef with the landlord. The landlord then says to me that he's gonna be coming round every 2 weeks for an inspection for like the next month or two, right? So now I'm because I smoke weed, I'm not oblivious to the fact that weed makes you paranoid. So now I'm in my house that I'm paying too much for, and I'm paranoid that my landlord is going to knock on the door at any moment. Whether I'm smoking a joint, he's going to ring the police on me for this or that, whatever it is, right? So now I'm paranoid all the time in this fucking house that my landlord's going to knock on the door. And then on top of that, my mum's ex fucking boyfriend spills paint all over the fucking floor of this carpet, right? Which is going to cost me a lot of money to pull the carpet up and fix it. And I was just like, and then I read this book and I'm like, bro, I shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna dip. I'm gonna get out of this house. So I say to the landlord, listen, I'm moving out. Here's my notice. I winged it, right? Fully went on the advice from this book, basically saying acknowledge something that's happening and act on it. I moved in with my younger sisters, right? I've got two twin sisters that are twins that are like 4 years older than me. They had a little student house and I had to live in the I had to me and my girlfriend had to separate, not literally separate, but she had to go live at her mum's. I had to go live with my sisters for a year. And I tell you what, boys, that leaving that house and doing that and then getting back on my feet and getting my life back together literally changed my like I've never been so unhappy in my life, bro, in that period of time. And I literally all these bad things kept happening. And I was just like, oh, I just got to get through it. Just got to get through it. Just got to get through it. And then I'm like, no, why am I trying to get through it? Like, let me acknowledge them. I shouldn't be here. I need to change something. Changed it. And my life literally went. I was fucking depressed. I was a mess. I was 300 pounds, like I was saying. That book changed my life for real. And that is just the first thing in the book. There is 11 other things that if you apply, or not even if you apply, they apply to you whether you like it or not, bro, because you read the shit and it makes so much sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, just a little tangent on that. The Celestine Prophecy, that book changed my fucking life. Um, and there's been so many other examples of that first rule that there's no such thing as a coincidence. Now, every single time something happens to me in my life, right? I try and deal with it. I try and change it. I try and whatever. Like this channel, for example, I seen it get a decent amount of like the algorithm seemed to really like my videos, for example, right? So I just went all in. I bought the camera, I bought the mic, I bought everything, I set it all up, I got the background, I just went all in on it because I think that if something is going, like I said, I've posted so many YouTube videos, right? I'm sorry to just be ranting on some hippie shit, but I posted so many YouTube videos. The law of attraction, boys, in my opinion, is very real. And I'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean? That was a bunch of irrelevant stuff, but my point being, you should all read The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield, especially if you're somebody that maybe struggles with any kind of thing, because there's a lot of good shit in there. There's a lot of amazing shit in there, and it can change your life, bro, for real. It really can. You know, just like a self-help book can change your life, I think this shit can do a lot for you as well. But yeah, TLDR version. Um, my life was shit. I read a book, it changed my life. I changed my life. My life is no longer shit. Therefore, book is good. Is basically what I'm saying. But yeah, I'd much rather read that over that Dark Triad 48 Laws of Power. Yeah, a lot of those kind of books are kind of bullshit, right? It's like Rich Dad Poor Dad, or like these How to Get Rich Quick books. They wasn't rich until they published the book. Through the book is how they got rich. They wasn't rich before they wrote the book. So how, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are bullshit. Ali McGregor, Law of Attraction. That's what I'm saying, bro. Dangerous, man. Do you look at that? Jose, that's what I'm saying. To be to have ran through the featherweight division like that, Jose Aldo, the biggest fight of basically UFC at that point, because it was huge, that fight, right? And he sparks him in 13 seconds. And then he goes to the double champ and absolutely smokes him. And then it's almost like the moment he stops practicing that stuff, the moment he changed, the moment the money got him, the moment he stopped doing that kind of stuff, he lost it, bro. There's something to be learned from that. There is something to be learned from that. And law of attraction is a very real thing. Another example, podcaster James English. I don't know if many of you know him, as Scottish bloke. He was in jail, and he was in jail. He was a cokehead. He was an alcoholic. He was in and out of jail. He was an absolute degenerate, right? And then he was in prison, and he got into the Joe Rogan podcast. And while he was in prison, he said, "Fuck this! I'm gonna get out. I'm going to make a podcast and I'm going to be like the Joe Rogan of the UK, right? I'm going to have all sorts of people on." And he found this book in the prison library, Law of Attraction. And he read the book, he applied the things, and he's a fucking millionaire, bro. Straight out of jail. The thing is about the law of attraction, you have to walk around like you've already done the thing and you have to truly believe it. And that's the thing about Connor. Like, it was a foregone conclusion for him. It's almost like you can attribute it a little bit to like the religious fighters as well, like the Muslim fighters, because they're like, this next fight is already decided for me. It's in the hands of God. I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna let God take over. You know what I'm saying? It's a very peaceful way of thinking, bro. Imagine being an atheist and you're like, I've got to go fight John Jones, and like it's just me and my two fucking hands. That's what I loved about him. His solo interviews was all philosophical talk, and his fights were the results of his work and beliefs. They really were, bro. 145 McGregor is special, special individual, man. Somebody that should, and I know this is going to sound really fucking off ticket, right? And people are going to be like, what the fuck? He was so quick. Some of the shit that he said should be genuinely quoted and thrown on the walls of gyms, bro. That man, featherweight McGregor, when he was the hungriest, one of the best fighters to ever live. I truly believe it. Never seen anybody believe in themselves the way he did. Never in my life. You've got Volk, I believe in myself. That's different, bro. That's completely different. When fighters say I believe in myself and then how McGregor was, like, it's different, bro. McGregor got into lostness after during the Mayweather fight. Yeah, it does seem that way, right? I mean, everybody attributes it to the money. I think it was the money, but I also think it was just his ego couldn't take being that worshipped. Not many people can. I mean, imagine it. Imagine, like, as men, right? If you get into a street fight with a random drunk idiot on a night out and you fucking smack him in the mouth and he falls on the floor and you win the fight, bro, you feel like the fucking boy. You're staring everybody out for the next 3 weeks. You're thinking, yeah, if any of these wanted it, they get smoked because you won one fight in the street. That's a real thing. Ape see fucking ape do shit, bro, like caveman shit. So imagine you're going in against the best fighters in the world. Imagine you go in 10 years undefeated, Jose Aldo, beat Uriah Faber, beat Cub Swanson in fucking 8 seconds, beat all of these amazing fighters, the only featherweight champion in the UFC, all of these things. He's going to kick your legs off. Conor McGregor has the worst stance for leg kicks ever. And Jose Aldo is one of the best leg kickers ever. All of these things, right? Connor's like, no, I'm not even worried. First round, he's going to overextend. I'm going to catch him. It's done. People are like, yeah, all right, shut up. You know what I mean? He goes in, smokes him, bro. It's a different thing, different ball game. Shout out, McGregor. Special days, boys. Special days for real. They say you don't know what you had until it's gone. When McGregor was at his peak, I hated it so much because I was a salty little fucking hardcore fan. You know what I'm saying? And people would be like, you watch that cage fighting, don't you? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, seen that Conor McGregor? And I'd be like, fuck Conor McGregor, bro. He's shit. You know what I mean? He just talks. He just goes viral. Like, I used to hate him so much, bro. And yeah, it was the Chad Mendes fight really won me over, where has the Irish flag at the end, and his mum comes in and he's crying and he puts his head down and his mum kisses his head. And he's like, oh, and he ain't shouting and screaming, and he just gets on the mic. He's like, Ireland, I did this for us. I really did. You know what I mean? Yeah, that Mendes fight is a special McGregor, bro. Booked against Aldo. Aldo pulls out, takes Mendes on fucking short notice. Crazy, bro. Mendes on short notice is one of the best wins on Connor's resume. Mendes on short notice, bro. One of the best wrestlers featherweight has ever seen. Dangerous ground and pound. Preparing for Jose Aldo, a fucking Muay Thai striker. You know what I mean? Shout out Conor. Conor was a G for that, man. He loved Bruce Lee too. He was the OG, triple OG. For real, man. Connor was a big Bruce Lee fan, right? I think in 20, 30 years, people are going to look at Connor as a special guy. Bruce Lee's The Book of Tao and of Jeet Kune Do is such an interesting read. Is it actually like I might read it. I might read it. What is it? A technique breakdown or is it more like an actual book? This speaks volumes. I thought like yesterday I didn't feel shit before walking out. I lost unanimous decision. Are you saying this speaks volumes because you need a bit more self belief? Did you not believe in yourself or what's up, bro? Connor is special ed. Yeah, you joined kind of took me off context, bro. We were talking about like Prime McGregor 145 when he was dropping all his philosophical quotes and shit. Obviously, Connor these days is far worse than special ed, bro. He's the whole fucking, you know, he's the whole class. It's a philosophy book. I'll check it out, bro. 100%. Certainly a beast mystic, mate. Yeah, for real, man. I was an annihilator. That's why they fear me. Whenever McGregor is around people now, it's like he speaks another language, only he knows sometimes. I do get a kick out of McGregor these days. He seems like he's genuinely funny. Do you know, bro? Do you know how much I was fucking crying of laughter when he went after True Geordie, bro, and he was calling him a Burns victim, and he was like, "Who scolded you with an iron? You fat fuck, you fat nobody." Oh my god, bro, I was crying. I was fucking crying. Who scolded you with a no? I think he says who scolded you with a kettle. Who scolded you with a kettle, bro? I believe I'm the same age as you. I started watching around UFC 202, so I binge watched old vids of him at 145. Damn, 202. That's still, you know what's crazy about that? Still like 8 years ago or some shit, right? 7 years ago. That's crazy, man. But yeah, I'm 25, so I'm not sure if you are the same age as me, but yeah, no, I enjoyed his. I used to hate him, bro, when he beat uh Diego Brandao. He beat Marcus Brimage, he beat Poirier. See, I didn't really rate Poirier, you know what I mean? And I used to see Connor with his fucking braids, his Viking braids, and be like, this guy's a fucking weirdo, bro. I grew up knowing Chuck Liddell and Anderson Silva with no concept of MMA in my brain. Yeah, what's that show that you guys have in America where the guys will like make the swords and they'll like test the swords on like the human dummy things, like the jelly. You know what I'm saying? Is it called like Forged in Steel or something like that? Forged in Fire. Forged in Fire. I remember Chuck Liddell was on that at one point, and they got him to like throw a fucking like overhand right or something at this dummy, like, and I think his fucking head exploded and shit. It was hilarious. But I remember watching that and with a few of my friends, and they were going like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "Chuck Liddell. This is like our boy," and they were so gassed. I bet it didn't hit as hard as a Ford Escort. No, bro. No, no, I guess not. I mean, Chuck Liddell would probably let's face it, he'd probably get absolutely prime Chuck Liddell gets absolutely mollywopped these days, bro. Tony Ferguson fight was my first MMA experience. It was him against Barboza. Great fight. That fight was insanely fast paced from my memory. Yeah, it was. It was. It was. Ferguson, you know what? Ferguson in his. Do you remember when Ferguson nearly got KO'd by Pettis about 4 times, bro? And he was rolling all over the place. Yeah, Forged in Fire. So I'll tell you what else. Talk about Barboza. When Habib fought Barboza, if you watch that fight, I don't know if that was before that fight or after, but there's a about the fourth round, Habib Barboza's corner's like, listen, he's gonna take you down. He's gonna try and wrap your legs, and he's gonna try and control your wrist. Don't let him do it, Edson. Circle out, do this, do that. The bell goes. Habib fucking runs forward with his weird fucking stance, bobbing up and down, shoots the takedown, takes him down, wraps his legs, grabs his wrists within like 5 seconds, and Edson just looks at his corner, looks up at him on the screen, like sees himself just against the cage, and he just goes, you know what I mean? He's just fuming, bro. He's like, bro, I literally cannot do shit. This is fucking horrible. This is fucking hilarious. His fucking corner are literally like, listen, he's gonna do these 4 things. Don't let him do them. And Habib's like, I'm gonna come out and only do these 4 things, and you're not gonna do anything about it. Shout out to Habib. Everyone wants to talk about Dagestani handcuff, right? Which is a wrist ride or whatever everybody says, right? Everybody loves to talk about they changed the game with the Dagestani handcuff, like pure wrist control. They changed the game with the Dagestani mermaid. You know how Habib would wrap your legs up? When somebody does that to you, bro, you realize, like, fucking hell, like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how anybody ever thought of that. You can't do shit, bro. I didn't think Edson could make 145 at first. Is he ranked at featherweight? I think he is in the top 15, yeah. I couldn't tell you where, though. I couldn't tell you where. Who did he fight last? I swear he headlined like a fight night recently or something, no? Co-main? Who did he fight last? Edson was Edson was the first guy I ever seen. Yusuf, yeah. I think my cat's trying to break into my fucking studio. Damn. Did you lot just see that, bro? I swear to God, I just heard like tap, 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 and then that shit just fell down. Have you ever seen Paranormal Activity fucking 4 or whatever it is, bro? What's that shining behind me, bro? What the fuck is going on? Boys, if you see me get absolutely fucking murked on camera, please, like, spread the tier lists around. You know what I mean? That was weird as fuck. And now I've got to fix that shit, man. Paranormal Activity used to get me paranoid all the time as a kid. Yeah, bro. Like, people want to talk shit about Paranormal Activity, right? The first one is genuinely, like, terrifying. That's so annoying that I've got to fix that shit, bro. I wonder what that noise was. That was fucked. Where's my phone? Oh. But yeah. What time is it? Is it 5:30 yet? Yeah, it's 5:43. I cannot believe how fast time flies in these streams, bro. It's kind of fucking scary, to be honest. I can't believe. Yo, do you want to see some cool shit? Oh. Bow. Tell me who these 2 people are, boys. Who are these 2 young men in their prime? This one's very easy. I feel like this one's a little bit more difficult, but you can still tell. BJ Penn. And who's this? No tattoos on him. One tattoo on his arm. This is a real OG. This is somebody that gets slept on. This is still my boy. Frankie Edgar. It's not Frankie Edgar. Chris Weidman. Yeah, it's Weidman. It's Weidman. How cool is that, though, bro, that they have UFC pop vinyls or whatever they're called? Pop figures. Fuck. Fucking useless thing, man. Oh, I'll deal with that later. Fuck that. Sorry, boys. Some technical difficulties. But yeah, it's Chris Weidman. What else have I got UFC related? I got this picture of Darren Till, which is just depressing, to be honest. Little cool fact: I actually own a fox. I have a fox that that I adopted, or a friend adopted for me for my birthday. So that's Grey Fox. Shout out my Elder Scrolls fans. If you know, you know. But that's Grey Fox. He was a sick fox. That's him right there. He's an adult now. This is actually my boy. I'm not even trolling. And that's my certificate of adoption. Is backwards, but I have a fox. Just want to put that out there. How sick of a present is that, though? Was there a single fight that got you hooked on MMA? Yeah. Well, not a fight, but the Bisping and Hendo season. Yeah, for sure. The Bisping and Hendo season of the Ultimate Fighter, and then watching the final, it got me hooked, bro. I would go to my it used to be on Tuesdays or Thursdays, I can't remember, and I would go to my dad's on a Friday. So my uncle would record it with Sky Plus or whatever it was. Wait for me. I think he used to watch it and then pretend like he hadn't watched it. You know what I mean? Because there's no way he waited like 2 days for like 3-4 days for me to get there. So I used to go over to his house. I used to watch the Ultimate Fighter there. And the first proper card I seen was JDS Velasquez. It was like UFC on Fox, something like that. I think I couldn't even tell you, to be honest, bro. Darren Till's striking is still beautiful. It is, but he just throws the left. You know what I mean? Just throws the left straight. He needs to do something else, man. He's too one-dimensional. You can't do that and get away with it at welterweight these days, or middleweight. Belongs to 170. Yeah, I agree. Had pet squirrels when I was a kid. It was pretty wild. Pet squirrels. Yeah, man. I like squirrels, bro. Did you ever play Conker's Bad Fur Day? That shit was fire. Did you like Bisping at the time? I did, but only because my uncle did. Do you know who my uncle's favorite fighter was? And for like the longest time, I thought he was the best fighter in MMA. Like, because it was my uncle's favorite, I just assumed that he was the best. Frank Mir, bro. And I could never remember his name. So I just used to say, is the guy with the tattoo on his back fighting? And my uncle would be like, no. And then when he fought Brock, he was like, yeah, he's fighting. And I watched that fight. Yeah, man. It was amazing, bro. And then I would go to school off these big weekends of huge fights, right? Like Cain Velasquez, JDS knocking Cain out in the first 60 seconds of the fight to take the belt. You know, I would go to school and I would be like, oh, boys, there's this guy, Junior Dos Santos. He's a Brazilian boxer. Like, then there's this guy, Cain Velasquez. And they're like, bro, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? We're fucking 10-year-old kids, bro. We care about milk and fucking football. And that's it. And it would break my heart. And then McGregor changed everything. And I went from watching cards on my own, laying in bed on my mobile phone, to watching cards in a room with 15 people, smoking weed, eating pizza, and it being like a whole motive. So yeah, I'm really proud of this sport, bro. I used to almost be embarrassed to be a fan of this sport because people would just be like cage fighting, and there was at one point the biggest cage fighter in England was this not transgender. What was he? He was like a cross dresser. So he was a man, and he went out with he was together with like, you know, essentially like a Kardashian type of figure in the UK. It was her boyfriend. He was like an MMA fighter, and he was like a cross dresser, and he was like bisexual or something. So every time I'd be like, oh yeah, I watch UFC, I watch MMA. People would be like, "Is that cage fighting?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," and they'd be like, "What? Where that fucking gay guy that goes out with Katie Price?" And I'd be like, "No, no." So I used to be embarrassed about that shit. Dude, that's crazy. MMA was so underground. Now everybody knows about it, bro. I used to have to watch cards on DVDs. I used to. A card would happen, and I used to have to wait for the DVD to be in the fucking video box, which was like this video rental place on the corner of my street when I was a kid. I used to have to wait for the card. So, like, let's say we just watched song. Um, well, not song. Let's use a pay per view. Let's say this. Let's say the upcoming 296 card. Yeah, that would happen. I would hear nothing because I couldn't Google like what happened. Like I just I didn't have a fucking. I had like a Sony Ericsson. You know what I mean? I couldn't even. I was like 10, 11. So I didn't know how to like Google what happened. So I would hear my uncles talking a big card this weekend. This guy's fighting. This guy's fighting. Let me show you some of his fights. I'd be like, this is sick. I can't wait to see what happened. I would have to. The card would happen, and then I would have to wait like fucking 2 months, bro, to watch the card when the DVD came in. So, you know, watching MMA in England at that point, it just wasn't a thing. You had to like my uncle was like big into computers in the early 2000s, so he knew what to do, you know what I'm saying? The VPNs or the fucking like bypassing Spike TV streams on his computer, and that's how he used to watch the cards, like by essentially pretending he lived in America and watching it through Spike TV online. So it was very, 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 very hard to watch MMA as a UK fan in like the 2010s, the early 2010s, or even the 2000s. I started watching MMA, I think it was like 2009. So I think your favorite fighter is Nick Diaz. I would assume Low is my all-time favorite fighter. The GOAT. Not my favorite fighter, but definitely one of them. Nick Diaz is the GOAT, man. The grind was real to be a fan. I couldn't even call myself a fan. I couldn't even watch the fights live, you know? And I remember when I was in year eight, so like eighth grade, so I was like 13. I got one of my friends into UFC. His name was Linus, and I showed him Anderson Silva highlights, and he started watching. And me and him used to go on his trampoline, get tea towels, right? So like little towels, get like 10 of them each, wrap them around our feet and our hands, and we used to full on have an MMA fight on the trampoline with fucking towels around our hands, you know. Um, and I tried to like it's not a scissor kick. What did I try and hit him with? I don't even know what it is. It's not a real fucking MMA technique. But I jumped and I tried to like almost like Liu Kang fucking kick him, and I landed, and it was wet. It was raining outside, and I had these tea towels on my feet, and I landed, and I just did the splits, bro, fully, and I was like a fat kid. You know what I mean? So like I started crying. I was screaming. It was one of the most painful things I've ever been through in my life. And it was because I was trying to emulate Anderson Silva and kick my friend's fucking head off. But yeah, those early memories of MMA for me, um, amazing. You know what I mean? Just it's the best sport in the world, bro. It really is. Hands down, the best sport on planet Earth. Clashing shins is the worst pain I've ever felt. Yeah, yeah, I don't disagree with you there. And the problem is when you clash, like if somebody checks a leg kick from you with shin guards on, it doesn't hurt for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. It's literally like the pain has to go through the cushioning of the shin guard and get to you. Like I could throw a leg kick, it gets checked, I step back on it, and then I'm like, whoa, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, and I'm just fucked, bro. I can't even stand on it. YouTube highlights of Anderson Silva and the guys also grew the sport. Yeah, they did. They did. They did. Anderson Silva highlights on YouTube. I remember there was a Brendan Schaub highlight video to a "Bring Me the Horizon" song, and I used to love that shit. You know how I used to love Brendan Schaub, you know, like when he was in the UFC because he was on the Ultimate Fighter and he was cool as fuck, bro. On the Ultimate Fighter, he was a good fighter. He was pretty athletic for a heavyweight. You know what I mean? I clashed shins with some taller dude, and I could not believe how much it hurt. Yeah, it's crazy. Right? You gain a lot of respect for these fighters when you know. I was talking in the stream the other day about the first time I ever got taken down, and my head snapped back and hit the fucking mat, and my neck hurt for like 3 weeks. I couldn't even turn my head without my neck hurting, just off of one takedown. So imagine all the damage that you get. You know what I mean? It's a brutal, brutal sport. Shin guards are one of the best things ever made. No, they are. They are. Brennan Schaub got slept a lot in the UFC. He did, but he also got some good wins. You know, he beat Crow Cup. I remember when that happened. He did well in the Ultimate Fighter. He had some good wins, but then Travis Brown KO'd him, right? And I think Travis Brown could have been one of the best heavyweights ever, and he just got ruined. He got ruined. They tried to change his shit. Edmund changed his whole game. Travis Brown could have been something, bro. He was like 6'7". He was a good boxer, good wrestler, good cardio, and then he got the same coach as Rousey, right? Edmund, and he just completely changed his style and fucked him. Tony Ferguson was the reason I fell in love with MMA. So see what's happening to him now. You know, you're like the third person in the chat tonight to say this, and it's made me realize how important Tony Ferguson is. I didn't realize so many people got into the sport through Tony Ferguson. Like, that's really fucking cool, man. And it does suck to see what's happening with him, but um, there's a chance he beats Paddy, I think. There's a chance he beats Paddy. I don't think Paddy's too special. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't write him off just yet. What am I smoking? Right now I'm smoking Quality Control Farms Zorro, bro. It's like I don't even know what the cross is. What is the cross? It's like Skittles cross some shit. Wish Tony does not get smoked by Paddy. I won't be able to take it. Yeah, it's we just gotta hope for the best, bro. And whatever happens, happens. Tony's a grown man. He'll be all right. Hopefully Dana doesn't let him BJ Penn himself. And he's, you know, he ends on a good note. Ah, the good stuff. Yeah, the good stuff, bro. Is weed illegal in the UK? You can get that, G. Yeah, weed is illegal in the UK still. And I get this is like a Cali, so like quality controlled farms. They're a brand, so they're a company, right? So they grow weed in California. They're a Californian brand, and then basically these get shipped here, and you pay more for them, and people call it Cali. You know what I mean? So it might not necessarily have been grown in California, but this is the this is the exact strains that like you could buy from the dispensaries in California and shit. So a lot of our weed is trash. You know that is 100% true. But you can get good shit. You know what I mean? Like I got that in there, and I've just got some stars in there, Stardock. You know what I mean? Just some mid, just for when times get rough. And then there's this shit connected. So connected. This is biscotti in here. Obviously everything's backwards, but this is another 3.5. You can see it says CA, little triangle, CA with the little palm tree. That's from California, you know. I got you. I just planted 2 seeds in my garden, hoping it will go smooth. I'll still stay smoking on recreational. Yeah, man. if you can ultimately, if you can grow it yourself and smoke your own shit and not pay anybody for it and just do it yourself, that's the dream. I had some shit called butterscotch. Damn, that typo fucked you there with biscuit, bro. I had some shit called butt for real. Hopefully, bro went tweak off the Czar. Bro, I'm a Czar heavyweight out here, bro. No, I'm joking. I'm good though. It's like 6 a.m. It is 6 a.m. Listen, boys, I've got to go. I really don't want to, but I've got fucking a lot of shit to do in the fucking tomorrow. How the fuck have I been streaming for nearly 4 hours? That's crazy, bro. Do you know when I stream the fight companions, when I stream a card, it doesn't even feel this easy. Like I'm like 2 hours in, I'm like almost falling asleep. This stream's been calm, bro. This stream's been fine. But yeah, no, seriously, boys. Thank you so much for being here. The camera's not focusing. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, thank you so much for being here, boys. Everyone, have a good night. Um, I'll be streaming every day going forward, and I've caught up with uni work, so um, I will have some videos coming. But either way, whether I see you tomorrow or whether I see you for the card on Saturday, enjoy your week, boys. Stay happy and all that, and I'll catch you in the next one, which will be tomorrow, like I said. Bless. Good night. This is awkward. Where the fuck is the end stream button, bro?